less pedestrian.
Hey guys, we're in there. I think we should be up on YouTube with full audio and also on the radio station with full audio. Guys, let us know if you can't hear or see us.
Let us
We're
know
working
if you
on
can
it.
too.
We up?
Yeah, it sounds
All
good.
right, thanks guys. Sorry about that. You know, it wouldn't be an episode of Reality Brief without some sort of technical difficulties. So, now, where were we? I guess we got to start all the way back over again.
Yeah, about the well, first of all, how much you want to bet we've been sabotaged by the New World Order?
Absolutely.
Bilderberg Group,
Mhm.
Council of 300,
Mhm.
or no, Committee of 300,
Preach it.
Council of Rome,
Preach it. Preach it.
Trilateral Commission,
Pre-
Bohemian Club.
All right, guys. Welcome to Reality Brief. Once again, we got a jam-packed jam-packed show for you tonight. Got a little bit of underground pyramids in Alaska. Got some artificial intelligence. Obviously, Trump and Clinton. I mean, how can we not talk about that? I mean, in 45 minutes, you guys are going to stop listening to us and start listening to them. Like, what they saying is going to matter.
Oh, what, is there a debate or something going on tonight?
Absolutely.
Ha!
If you can call it
puppet
that.
show. Enjoy your Punch and Judy, folks.
So, back to the thing. Now, before, when we weren't on air, we were telling you about the administration's report on the future of artificial intelligence.
Meanwhile, they still haven't sorted the whole organic intelligence bit yet either.
Yeah, they need some intelligence over there in the White House because that's where this comes from, whitehouse.gov. President Barack Obama. Under President Obama's leadership, America continues to be the world's most innovative country with the greatest potential to develop the industries of the future and harness science and technology to help address important challenges. I'm not seeing it.
I mean, like challenges like, how do we defeat ISIS without bombing civilians?
The only technological leaps and bounds that we're seeing them make is in the NSA department.
Oh, yeah. The health
How can
the
we
servers
completely-
for healthcare.gov are still, rickety buckets of shit, but the servers that watch you log into healthcare.gov.
Oh, yeah, they're on it.
Yeah.
Over the past 8 years, President Obama has relentlessly focused on building U.S. capacity in science and technology. This Thursday, President Obama will host a White House Frontiers Conference in Pittsburgh to imagine the nation and the world in 50 years and beyond. And
Or
to
what's left of it, anyhow?
Yes, chains and bars, baby, chains and bars. And to explore America's potential to advance towards the frontiers that will make the world healthier, more prosperous, more equitable, and more secure.
We await the rise of the Ubermensch. Wait, what?
Today, to ready the United States for a future in which artificial intelligence plays a growing role, the White House is releasing a report on the future directions and considerations for AI called Preparing for the Future of Artificial Intelligence. This report surveys the current state of AI, its existing and potential applications, and the questions that progress in AI raise for society and public policy. The report also makes recommendations for specific further actions. A companion National Artificial Intelligence Research and Development Strategic Plan is also being released, laying out a
doesn't sound
strategic
menacing.
plan for federally funded research and development in AI. So, we will have the government super AI computer watching your every click, your every move, cataloging your every purchase so they can turn around and feed them into machines that run simulations on various things. Like in the past, they've run simulations using information just like this, garnered through the ways we've been telling you about for all these years, about your private information going out, being collected in all these different sources. You're like, oh, well, so what? Who cares? What do they do with it? Well, what they do with it is they feed it into these simulations, and they use that info to be able to tell how you will act in a certain scenario. So in the past, they've ran simulations for, strife or whatever, typical shit hit the fan scenario. And they take all your personal information.
They were running on 9/11.
Yeah. They take all your personal information and they feed it in these machines so they can look at all their possible outcomes and figure out which is most probable. But with a little of Keck's magic, none of that will matter.
Well, I just want to know is when are we going to have drones that are so advanced that they can automatically issue an apology to the Associated Press after they blow up a hospital full of children in Syria or something?
While we're on the artificial intelligence, We got this from
yes,
The Sun.
I saw this.
iRobot.
This is fucked up.
Apple employs tech guru from university that taught computers how to defeat humans. So this guy literally worked on a program, an AI program, that trains these computers how to hunt down and kill people. And now he's working for Apple. What the fuck, man?
If you would like a quick and painless death, please upload an extra 99 cents to your iTunes account.
They're saying they're interested in using machine learning to make its voice-activated assistant Siri more useful. However, Apple is also likely to be interested in using artificial intelligence in secret products and services which are yet to be revealed.
Well, I mean, they've already pretty much, there's backdoors into everything. So anything that's already on your Apple-based technology, if the state wants access to it, they're going to get it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. What if, instead of having to do it the old way, like monitoring keywords, activating your microphone, checking for red flags, that type of thing, what if your phone now can tell on you? Like, here's your artificial intelligence, and they're like, whoa, this guy's talking about some crazy shit. I better say something. Like, your phone now is literally watching you with its own brain.
Yeah, deciding when it's going to snitch on you. It's got the auto snitch feature.
It's incredible.
Fucking, and also, speaking of that WikiLeaks dump, one of the documents dumped that I saw was a document concerning Microsoft and their spying policy. Absolutely insane.
Oh, yeah.
We might cover that a little more in detail later, but
they essentially got it set up to where the guys looking at everything, they just pop open this program and they put in the little relevant information they want. They can see when you registered, from what IP address, what location you're at, personal information.
Yeah,
and
the document is Microsoft Online Services Global Criminal Compliance Handbook.
Not only
domestic version, March 2008.
Not only do they do that, but they also give them direct access to every email that you've ever sent or received. Whether you delete it or not, whether it was 10 years ago and you don't even have that damn email account anymore, those email accounts are saved forever. And everything you've ever sent on an email account is saved forever, including your IP address, your personal information, when you logged in, etc. So that, and what was the other one? Alien?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Essentially,
not the kind of aliens you're thinking about, but it definitely involves an anal probe.
So WikiLeaks also has this little document about
all source intelligence environment alien, an interoperability framework supporting Joint Vision 2020.
Now picture this, okay? After 9/11, what was the big call? Oh, the intelligence operatives, the different agencies, they can't talk to each other. They should have known about this, that, and the other thing. We need the super agency. That's why we got the Homeland Security. Now, consider this alien program or protocol initiative to be the one ring that kind of rules them all. So anyone who had access to this alien stuff can essentially tap into any intelligence database.
The Great Devourer, the Minority Report Information Network.
I find it kind of funny that they named it Alien. So off of the...
So what is Alien? The all-source intelligence environment... the all-source intelligence environment, Alien, is a standards-based knowledge integration and SOA framework that covers the implementation standards, DoD, net-centric, architectural compliance, SOA infrastructure, analytical tools, and interoperable information sharing across DHS data repositories and services. The purpose of Alien is to provide a standards-based, service-oriented architecture-enabled environment that will facilitate intelligence analysis, information discovery, knowledge object management, and seamless data sharing. Alien lays the foundation for analysts to easily and transparently navigate between different intelligence data sources while integrating and semantically displaying the data using a common analytic toolset. Alien will integrate and make interoperable all of the DoD Intelligence Production Council's analytical and dissemination systems within a network-centric architecture, especially where DIA supports the SCI and collateral efforts. So, yeah, this is basically trying to round up all of the information collected on you by everybody, put it in one nice, big, easily digestible chunk, and use it to run simulations as to what you're going to do when shit hits the fan.
It's the one ring to rule them all. So, off of that, we've got
one probe to probe them all.
You know, I don't know if you guys heard about what was going on in Yemen. How they said that the Yemenis fired some rockets at the ship, and then they're saying, well, maybe they didn't. We don't know what the hell's going on, and we blew up a bunch of radar stuffs on Iran.
It was probably, I'm guessing, that it really was Putin using Iran to use some rebels to poke us, to try and...
It very could well be, because...
Well, in Soviet world, bear pokes you.
Basically, right now we're fighting a proxy war with Russia. So what that means is, in Syria, Assad, their leader, is being propped up and backed by Russia, right? Now, the rebels fighting against Assad, ISIS for the most part, are being propped up and backed by the United States. So it's a proxy war going on. Make no mistake about it. So any little thing like this...
And then to complicate it, there's also the Free Syrian Army, there's the Kurds, Rojava, which honestly, I'm rooting for the Kurds. Because that's basically going to be the, you always hear statists tell you, well, show me an anarchist country that works. Well, Kurdistan looks like it's shaping up to be its first really self-governing country, and I think that's pretty cool. I think props to Rojava. I hope you guys kick ISIS's ass, fucking keep Turkey at bay, and fucking keep Russia and America from sticking their dicks in your business. Go Rojava.
So, essentially, because of this proxy war that's being fought, any little thing could be a flashpoint jumping into World War III. Very easily. Very, very easily. Now, there's a little-known treaty between Venezuela and Iran that if the United States goes to war with either one, then they're automatically partners allianced. So we very well could. I mean, any little thing could jump off into World War III.
What they're calling the BRIC bloc. It's Brazil, Russia, India, and China. So historically, India has operated pretty much as a proxy of the UK. Ever since the British occupation. But I don't think that's going to be the case. And the Philippines, too, that's a power axis that's flipping. The people of the Philippines, I have friends in the Philippines. And I think the Philippines is it seems like a pretty cool place. I've met some really nice people from there. I met some shitheads, but I met some nice people from there, too, just on the internet. Most of them seem pretty cool. And this guy Duterte, this dictator that's taken over there, he's been slaughtering drug dealers by the thousands. Like, he basically said it's open season on heroin dealers. Fucking, if you know any heroin dealers, kill them. Take their shit. I don't care. Take them. Yeah, murder them and take their stuff.
That was the guy that was talking all that crap to Obama, too.
Yeah, what he called John Kerry a faggot.
Terrible. Terrible, man.
There's a lot to be said for John
Okay,
Kerry.
so knowing that about the proxy wars and listening to the narratives about how Russia's behind all this hacking with the email leaks and all this and that, and Russia not quite beating the drum so loud yet, but starting to tap on it with jazz brushes.
Did we mention last week about the incident in New York City? Somebody took a banner and hung it off a bridge, and it had a big old picture of Putin on it, and it said, Peacemaker.
So... Now,
not sure if I necessarily ascribe to that, but
obviously Putin's not the best guy in the world.
Yeah, he's a tyrannical shithead too.
I've seen many videos of him talking at different world meetings, and if you believe what he says there, he doesn't want an all-out war with us. But that being said, you're not going to poke that bear. So all of this stuff happening in the Middle East with these proxy wars, it could very well go hot very quickly. And now here's the thing I want you to think about. Now, Hillary Clinton, okay, we all know she's vindictive.
Psychotic,
people say she's evil, psychotic, criminally insane.
The fucking Joker.
Body count list, 20 pages long. If she really believes that it's Russia behind these WikiLeaks, these emails that's damaging her so badly, don't you think if she gets elected, she's going to have a giant hard-on for Russia? I mean,
I think she's going to start World War III.
I mean, very easily. I mean, this lady, and then you factor in her age and her physical condition. She may not even be all there. She may have Parkinson's. She may have and people are talking about Trump being the new candidate.
And what if she conks out, and then all of a sudden we have a retard like Timmy Kaine?
Yeah, well, Tim Kaine is bought and paid for. He's just going to do what he's told.
Idiot.
See, Hillary Clinton's kind of a wild card because once she gets in there, I think she's just going to be like, I am empress of the world. And she may not even keep listening to them. Now, we saw in them leaks them going back and forth, talking crap about a Rothschild. And the Rothschild got all mad about it. So she's already showing that she don't care about them. And if she gets into power, man, she's just going to do whatever she wants. I mean, she probably doesn't have much longer to live, and she knows it. So I very well could see her being more of a nuclear option than Donald Trump. And I'm not a Donald Trump supporter. That's another fallacy. If you don't like Hillary Clinton, then you must like Donald Trump.
Yeah,
no, that's bullshit.
We don't play that game here. But I think Don and I can, if we agree on anything, it's that there's really no authority but yourself.
Absolutely.
But that said, we're looking at the Hunger Game of Thrones here. I do see Trump as the lesser of, I guess the lesser of those two evils. But, compared to Gary Johnson, I guess he's like the medium evil.
Man, I'm pretty sure Gary Johnson's bought and paid for too, man. We got this. Send in the Marines. A force of Marines is set to be sent to Europe and be stationed knocking on Vladimir Putin's front door amid fears of war between the U.S. and Russia. This is coming from the Daily Star. Major General Neil E. Nelson, commander of the Marine Corps, the U.S. Marine Corps Forces Europe, said, "We enjoy a very close relationship with the Norwegian Armed Forces, and a limited rotational presence in Norway could certainly enhance this relationship and our ability to operate together. If approved by the Norwegian government, a Marine Corps presence in Norway will increase NATO's ability to rapidly aggregate and employ forces in Northern Europe."
Prince Bernhard likes this.
So essentially they're getting up. I mean, that's just another piece of it, man.
I can't speak for anybody else, but I definitely do not support any sort of war with Russia.
See, now the Gulf of Tonkin, it didn't really happen. Obviously the incident happened and we went to war, but it never really actually happened. They just said it happened. I don't think that it'll be a lie. I think it'll be a straight-up false flag attack. Like, something will physically happen. It won't just be made up. You can't just make something up like that nowadays. I mean, you can, but it's going to be hard to stomach unless they've got some actual video of something blowing up. That's why I think they'll do something and not just say something happened.
Well, hey, on the bright side, Don, maybe we'll pick up some iodine tablet manufacturers as sponsors.
Yeah.
Remember, folks, take your Addicts.
So, now, this whole Julian Assange thing, this WikiLeaks drama that's been unfolding in front of our eyes. Okay, so Sunday night, Twitter just exploded with all these rumors. Oh, Julian Assange is dead. Oh, no, no, no. So what happened was...
It's happening.
What happened was the guy released WikiLeaks' Twitter account. It wasn't even Assange, right? Released 3 hash confirmations. Basically, it's a string of numbers that confirms that a third party has the same file that you have that you're looking at, right? So 3 of those came out. Ecuador, UK, and what was the final one? John Kerry. So, of course, Twitter is on fire. Julian Assange is dead. He's been murdered. Pamela Anderson poisoned Julian Assange. This is what's going around Twitter, right? Wow. So, obviously, I'm raising an eyebrow, and I'm trying to find out what the hell is going on. And I'm looking around.
I never saw anything about that.
And as it progresses, the next morning, you hear that, Julian Assange's internet was cut off. That's what happened. His internet was cut off, right? And it said by a state party. That's all the information.
But then later, Ecuador's government issued a statement reaffirming that they were trying to maintain Julian Assange's freedom and his connection to the internet.
Right, but what happened was it turned out that Ecuador actually cut the internet.
Oh, did they?
Yes. Ecuador actually cut the internet, and they said that in that release. And, you know, it's speculation that it was on behalf of John Kerry because he was in there on the 26th of September and this and that and the other thing. So now there's some getting posted on. There's stuff going on poll talking about, you know, people with diplomatic level intelligence insiders talking about how Ecuador is caving. Julian Assange may be dead or apprehended within 12 hours. You know, just drama, just after drama. Is just amazing watching this unfold. And and then we find out that 14 other WikiLeaks members, journalists, you know, people that run the servers, whatever, they all had their internet cut too in different parts of the world. One guy was even in the U.S. They really didn't want what was coming out to come out. So I found this thing here. Let me go ahead and open it up for you guys. I'll give you guys a look at it. Now, it's an email, and one would assume, since the to and from is blocked out, that it's from some type of, whether it be WikiLeaks or some kind of anonymous organization, to, you know, one of their members. And
maybe it's F Society.
So I'm going to go ahead and pop that over for you guys. It says, "Dear distributors, the time has come, and it's about to get serious. Circumstances are chaotic due to the nature of the package. Despite the contents of it, please remain calm. Use the predefined distribution channels with the following changes. Do not use any infrastructure located in countries inside the NATO-Europe bloc. Preferred nodes in Japan, Russia, and China. We have a go from our partners. Do not use BitTorrent at this stage and wait until further instructions. This time, there is going to be a threat to your physical safety, depending how good your OPSEC is, that's operational security. So please take the necessary precautions and only proceed with distribution if you are well aware of the implications. Do not, under any circumstances, participate in the seed command if you are physically located in countries within NATO-Europe bloc. We thank you for your service." And then it goes on to provide encryption keys, which are actual encryption keys and not confirmation hashes. 2 of them for key set 1 of 4 and key set 2 of 4. Then it goes on to give you what's inside. First thing we got is European Union meeting, Tavistock, Intercept, Tavistock, Intercept, Tavistock. So, wow. There you go, right there. Tavistock. We've been we were hammering on Tavistock, you guys. If you don't know,
that's who's calling the shots.
They are the ones programming society and have been for a very long time through various means.
Hey, Don, you ever read the Foundation and Empire series?
No.
Well, that's who. It's a series of fictional books about this guy named Harry Seldon, who set up this foundation that basically he knew the galaxy was going to fall apart. So he started foundations at either end of the galaxy, and it was their job to basically rebuild galactic civilization after this dark age hit and ensure that it only lasted for 1,000 years as opposed to, say, 10, 20,000. And throughout the course of the books, it tells how the whole story of this unfolds. And that's what I think Tavistock thinks they are. They think that they're the goddamn Harry Seldon Foundation, trying to program the future now.
So, moving on, it also, under the European Union, too, it says tabs UCOM, tabs Deutsche Bank, and tabs McKin. Now, I'm not really sure what all that is. Obviously, we know what Deutsche Bank is. But then we move on to Israel ISIS, right? And it's got some Iran stuff in there, Syria, U.S., United Arab Emirates. But then, here's the bombshell, guys. Are you ready? Sit down. Sit down. Don't want you to hurt yourself. 9/11. Now we've got call1.wave, call2.wave. Could be anything, right? I mean, transcript1.txt. Then we have thermite.txt, thermite.wave, and thermite.avi. So, if this is real, WikiLeaks is going to be dropping the equivalent of a nuclear bomb on everyone. All right? Proven that 9/11 was an inside job. the fucking world is about to get turned upside down. I mean, if this is calls and transcripts between high-ranking U.S. officials and other government parties and actual proof of thermite in the form of sound and video file,
Basically proof of everything we've been saying for
Then
years.
then it goes on. U.S. home defense kill lists, suicides. Now, look, I don't have confirmation.
And there's 4 of them. It says suicides
Yeah.
1, 2,
And
3,
it-
and 4.
I would
Probably more.
I would say that this
Scroll
probably
any
you
further.
can't. This is all we got. Now, let me remind you. I'm not able to vet, if this is real or not. It looks real. The encryption keys look real. It's formatted the way that WikiLeaks usually formats stuff. I don't know what to say. I mean, if this is real, we are in for it, man. This is
Or maybe we're not. Maybe they'll dump all this stuff, and the American people will be so asleep at the wheel that absolutely nothing comes of it. Maybe South Park nailed it.
I
They
don't
can
think
have
so,
friggin'
dude.
Santa Claus hung up in a web of computers with shit stuffed in his mouth.
I'm-
And you know what? The American people would not care. They'd be like,
Dude, if this comes out, I am getting on top of the highest building with the loudest bullhorn I can, and I'm telling people, man.
I'm right there with you, but I'm saying people are going to be like, shut up, I'm watching football.
Yeah, shut up! I broke my house.
Yeah.
Ah. So amazing to me. Is this the files that they're so desperate to not come out that they
the
cut?
files that they'll kill over.
That they cut Assange. They had Ecuador cut Assange. What I mean, whoa, back it up a second. What the hell do they got on Ecuador that Ecuador is going to cut his internet for him? Let's think about this for a minute.
Probably sanctions. What else do they got? All they got is
Insanity,
force.
man. I mean,
When all you have is a hammer, all the solutions look like nails.
God, man. So then, Assange, he's getting he. All right, so they already got him up on rape charges in Sweden, right?
Yeah, they said he.
Which, in my opinion, they're probably trumped up. I mean, I can't, and no pun intended, I can't say for certain. Maybe he did rape somebody.
Well, and even then, like, from what I understand, Sweden is like ultra super liberal social justice warrior land these days. So so you can probably get a hard on in the same room as some chick in Sweden. They'll be like, "Oh, he raped me. He pointed his boner at me."
It seems to me like it's just an excuse to get him extradited to Sweden so they can extradite him here. That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah, that's all it's ever been the entire time.
But now they've got this thing going around saying, "Oh, Russia gave him $1 million."
Oh, he's a Russian agent.
Right, yeah, he's a Russian agent, obviously, right? So, this popped up on Reddit,
In war, the first casualty
The
is
Reddit
always the
WikiLeaks.
truth.
and WikiLeaks tweeted this out. I've been looking into the San Francisco address listed in the WikiLeaks final report and found something possibly big. Who may be behind the Assange pedophile attacks? A corporation called Premise Data Corporation. This address was searched with the association of business name of ToddDanandClaire.com, but that isn't who actually resides there. Who really resides there is a company known as Premise Data Corporation, some sort of private intelligence corporation. I found this due to a Yahoo page after I ducked. I used DuckDuckGo. I call searches ducks. Curious, I went on to the Premise site that lists a different address, 185 Berry Street, Suite 6850, San Francisco. As you can see, it is very close to the other address listed in the California Business Registry. Image of the record itself, I was poking around the site itself and noticed a familiar name on the board of directors, Larry Summers. Lawrence Summers, as he is known sometimes. This is the same Larry Summers that is part of the Center for American Progress where loyal soldier Neera Tanden works. There was also a strange auto reply with the subject, Larry Summers in the Podesta leak, 8/11/2015. Now, this may be nothing, but I find it quite strange that a website company that is attacking Julian Assange just so happens to share an address of record with a corporation that happens to have two people that are connected with the Clinton campaign, Larry Summers and Neera Tanden. Suspicious at a minimum, but given recent events, I'm starting to think there will be more of a connection. Maybe someone here can help out as well.
There There are no coincidences, folks.
And let me
No
pop this over there
coincidences.
so you guys can search it out if you want to read, because he's got links to everything that he's explaining, his pictures. He's got a picture of the person with Hillary Clinton. There's something about WikiLeaks. But, yeah, that's up on Reddit, WikiLeaks. I'm sure it'll be pretty easy. You can also find a link to that on WikiLeaks' Twitter page. So, I mean, this WikiLeaks thing is getting real, man. Yeah, I mean, if that mystery email is true, and we do see revelations of that nature, and God knows more, definitely more. I mean, because that was only a little bit, and there's 2 entire document dumps. So, Lord have mercy, man.
Well,
All I can say is I hope it's true.
Did they post everything last night? Like, if you went to WikiLeaks.org.
No, that's just everything they have to this point, and they add things there supposedly daily. So you have to keep looking back. And essentially, it's file.wikileaks.com. You go there, you can see everything. I mean, they've got PDFs of Masonic Lodge handbooks from D.C. They've got, it's anything you can imagine. They have it there, and you can see it, all of it. We're going to be bringing more and more of that to you as we go through it. It's just a lot to process. There's a lot of documents there, you know. That's where we found the alien thing and the Microsoft spy thing we were telling you about.
Well,
but while we're on the subject of
dumping
WikiLeaks, and we'll get there in a minute, WikiLeaks and Russia, Max Spears. Okay, you guys probably have not heard of this fellow. This guy
I haven't heard of him.
This guy is
Fill me in.
Is us, essentially. He's a low-level guy trying to get information out there, doing his own little thing. All right, so he turns up dead. But the thing about it is, it's suspicious circumstances, for one.
Did he commit suicide by shooting himself in the back of the head 12 times?
No, it wasn't a Hillary suicide.
Oh, okay.
So, UFO expert found dead days after texting mom, "Your boy's in trouble. If anything happens to me, investigate." A conspiracy theorist texts his mom to say, "If anything happens to me, investigate," just days before his mysterious death. Max Spears, 39, a father of 2 boys, was found dead on a sofa in Poland where he'd gone to give a talk about conspiracy theories and UFOs. He was ruled to have died from natural causes, despite no post-mortem examination being carried out on his body. So, they didn't do anything in Poland at all. They didn't look into it at all. They were just, he died on his own.
Nope, dead American.
But his dark
wanna fuck with
investigations
this.
into UFOs and government cover-ups may have made him enemies who wanted him dead, says his mom.
Here, why don't we show our listeners a picture of this guy's face?
Sure.
The world should see his face.
This guy turned up dead, possibly murdered. In a chilling text message to his mom just days before his death, Max wrote, "Your boy's in trouble. If anything happens to me, investigate." Originally from Canterbury, Max lived in America for a few years but returned to the city to stay with his mother before jetting off to Poland. Vanessa said he was making a name for himself in the world of conspiracy theorists and had been invited to speak at a conference in Poland in July. He was staying with a woman who he had not known for long, and she told me how she found him dead on the sofa. But I think Max had been digging in some dark places, and I fear that somebody wanted him dead. Max made a career out of investigating UFO sightings and alleged cover-ups. More recently, he was said to have been probing into the lives of well-known figures of politics, business, and entertainment. Now,
sounds like you shat in somebody's cornflakes.
Okay, so
Maybe
essentially,
you saw Hillary molting.
the guy dies, suspicious circumstances, no examination of the details. But then we have this pops up.
And then they've probably already incinerated the corpse.
Okay. Max Spears theories. Death sparks interest in what UFO conspiracy theorists allegedly knew. Obviously. Suspicious circumstances, with the text of the mom, he's probably knows something here. So, Max Spears, a student of UFOs and a perpetrator of alleged truths, died in July at the age of 39. But recently, speculation about the nature of his death has gained traction, prompting some questions to whether Spears' search for the truth was to blame for his untimely demise. What happened to Spears? Who is he? What uncomfortable truths was he threatening to unleash upon mankind? Was the government behind his death? Are we actually all bit players in an interminable X-Files episode? Pretty please? Let's investigate. Who was Max Spears? He was making a name for himself in the world of conspiracy theorists. Spears' mother, Vanessa Bates, told The Telegraph. Spears was a UFO hunter working with exposed cover-ups. We already know this. Okay. Spears died under circumstances that remain mysterious, mostly because, according to the New York Post, no paperwork on the matter has been released. Polish authorities apparently determined Spears died of natural causes despite never performing a post-mortem.
Yeah, so how do they know?
Bates told The Telegraph that her son was a very fit man who was in good health. Polish authorities gave her Spears' death certificate, she said, but she has no further information. The Polish government refuses to give her more information on her son's death, she said, because she couldn't furnish written permission for her son. It's ridiculous. According to the Post, an autopsy was performed after his body was returned to England, but Bates has yet to be given the results. The coroner's office told the Post that their investigation was still in its very early stage. But one alarming detail in particular has cast further doubt on natural causes ruling. In a taped interview with Kerry Cassidy of whistleblower group Project Camelot, Spears' friend Miles Johnson says that upon his death, he vomited black liquid.
Jesus Christ.
A person died here,
Sounds
and
like
I don't.
something out of Prometheus.
A person died here, and I don't think it's good enough that somebody who just took normal medication should end up vomiting, spewing black liquid, whatever it was, and then shortly after that, whatever length of time it was, died.
Giant sucking wound in the middle of his chest. Oh, natural causes.
In an interview with the Daily Mail, Bates raised the possibility that her son had been offed by a satanic cult. Noting that the woman with whom Spears had been staying with in Warsaw, Monica Duval, had sent Bates a book on black magic, along with images of her son in a coffin. Bates said she spoke with Duval on the phone shortly before her son's death, and that she can hear all this kerfuffle in the background, which she surmised was the kerfuffle of satanic rituals.
Those don't go
And how do you,
kerfuffle.
like, oh, I heard that kerfuffle. It must be a satanic ritual going
Yeah.
on in there.
I mean,
oh,
what
I hear the
exactly
goats. I hear the goats.
What exactly does a kerfuffle sound like?
Spears' girlfriend, 31-year-old Sarah Adams, also believes his death to be the result of black magic and demonic forces. Max Spears' theories about the government and aliens. According to The Sun, Spears was convinced that we are all under the spell of the New World Order, a secret cohort of elites using mind control in their grab for world power. The New World Order, according to the tabloid, operates through front organizations involving branches of the U.S. government and both presidential candidates. Spears also believed in the existence of a Dulce base, which we talked about last week, a subterranean facility where humans and reptilian aliens conduct insidious experiments on their subjects. In the last interview, conducted before his death, Spears spoke about the existence of the Fourth Reich, that the Nazis who escaped the Third Reich went underground and joined forces with allied elites, notably Nelson Rockefeller, in the New World Order, engaging in mind control of the entire world. According to The Sun, he believed that the Fourth Reich perpetrated the MK Ultra mind control program and was manipulating Big Pharma to further its agenda.
You don't say.
Spears allegedly believed that the ministers of black magic controlled the New World Order and that many of the world's foremost political figures, Prince
Jesuits?
Charles, the Bush families, were in fact reptiles. This could be an episode of our show.
Yeah, pretty much. I was about to say, we better
We've
hide,
been
like-
focusing very hard on the Fourth Reich. If you guys have been paying attention, you know what's up with that. It's pretty amazing. So, now, here's the thing.
Quickly, to the bunker, Don.
It's
To the
been
bunker.
speculated that these email
DEFCON 3,
leaks,
DEFCON
especially
3.
with Podesta, considering he's such a heavy UFO guy, have actually been spurred on by UFO hunters and not Russia. So, it's just people like me and Dan looking for disclosure. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Possibly. So, if that's the case, then maybe he was one of the ones that got hold of them emails. And he paid the ultimate price for it.
Yeah, they're coming for us next. Yeah, we gotta bug out. It's happening. Happening alert. Red. It
So,
already happened.
let's see, what are we, 8:50? So before we hit the break and come back next hour, we got a little something to tell you about China.
Yeah, it's not just WikiLeaks dumping things. China holdings of U.S. Treasuries dropped almost 4-year low. This is reported October 18th by Scott Landman from Bloomberg Markets. China's holdings of U.S. Treasuries fell to the lowest level since November 2012 as the world's second largest economy draws down its foreign reserves to prop up the yuan. the biggest foreign holder of the U.S. government debt, had $1.19 trillion in bonds. Oh, well, shit, the Pentagon loses that on a daily basis. Notes and bills in August down $33.7 billion from the prior month, the biggest drop since 2013, according to U.S. Treasury Department data released Tuesday in Washington, with previous figures compiled by Bloomberg.
All right, before you go on with that, now, this has been happening a lot lately. China's been dumping off dollars left and right.
Yeah, the yuan is going to be the world's next reserve currency, and that's when you can really expect shit to hit the fan, folks. When finally petrodollars are a thing of the past and it's petro yuan, that's it, folks. That's when the nukes are going to fly. Hope y'all got your Radex and your canned food stocked up.
So, okay.
We might have to get Life Straw as a sponsor, too.
Before we move on, I want to talk to you a little bit about John F. Kennedy. All right, so a lot of people in these circles believe that JFK was assassinated by the financial sector because he put out an executive order issuing a competing currency note with the Federal Reserve.
That's
and
what I always thought.
And he was anti-Federal Reserve, and that executive order is 111110. Okay.
It was the printing of silver notes. That's what I always assumed.
So the executive order amended Executive Order 1020, blah, delegated to the Secretary of the Treasury the President's authority to issue silver certificates under the Thomas Amendment of the Agricultural Adjustment Act, as amended by the Gold Reserve Act. The order allowed the Secretary to issue silver certificates if any were needed during the transition period under President Kennedy's plan to eliminate silver certificates and use Federal Reserve notes. Whoa, wait a minute. What are you saying here? Let's see what Kennedy had to say about that executive order in his own words. This comes from the Economic Report of the President, January 1963. Now he says, silver. I again urge a revision in our silver policy to reflect the status of silver as a metal for which there is an expanding industrial demand. Except for its use in coins, silver serves no useful monetary function. In 1961, at my direction, sales of silver were suspended by the Secretary of Treasury. As further steps, I recommend repeal of those acts that oblige the Treasury to support the price of silver, and repeal of the special 50% tax on transfers of interest in silver, and authorization for the Federal Reserve System to issue notes in denominations of $1, so as to make possible the gradual withdrawal of silver certificates from circulation and the use of silver thus released for coinage purposes. I urge the Congress to take prompt action on these recommended changes.
Well, goddamn, I reckon.
So essentially, what he's saying is we want to demonetize silver so we can only use the Federal Reserve gold-backed notes, which we know what happened not too much longer after that. They're no longer gold-backed. Now it's complete fiat currency.
Even the gold in Fort Knox, according to Jim Mars, is just nothing but bars of tungsten, which happens to have the same density as gold, covered in a thin gold veneer.
Now, that not enough proof for you? Well, let's check this one out. New Kennedy silver policy.
Where's this coming from?
This is coming from a newspaper article, the Southeast Missourian, from November 28th, 1961. So this is shortly after the executive order. Washington, actually, it's printed here, but it came from the Associated Press. The silver certificate, a familiar item of currency since 1878, will disappear from circulation if Congress approves President Kennedy's new silver policy. All $1 and $2 bills are silver certificates, as are some $5 and $10 bills. All of these would be discarded during the next 25 or 30 years to be replaced by the Federal Reserve notes, which are backed by gold. So we know it didn't take nowhere near that long, and then it didn't take that much longer for the Fed notes to not be backed by gold.
Yeah, well, Nixon did that, right? He unpegged the dollar from the value of gold, and then...
So while Congress would have to approve this part of the Kennedy plan, the president ordered Tuesday an immediate end to Treasury sales of silver at artificially low prices. This will lead at once to an increase in the market price of silver, which perhaps will rise from the old pegged rate of 91.5 cents an ounce to $1 or more. And it's up to 25 now, as we know.
Hooray for hyperinflation.
As a result, manufacturers are likely to increase prices on jewelry, silverware, photographic film, blah, blah, and so on and so forth. Congress will have to authorize the Federal Reserve notes in these denominations. Kennedy said he will ask Congress to do this early next session. So there you have it. Kennedy, not so much a champion for free money. You got it right there in his own words. He This is not why he was assassinated, guys. I mean, not by a long shot. I mean,
his common knowledge is commonly wrong.
Kennedy was not anti-Federal Reserve. He was very much for it. Why he was assassinated? Whoa. Now we're, I mean, typically everybody thinks it's because of that. But, I mean, you do have all the stuff going on with the CIA at the time. Operation Northwoods getting shot down, the Bay of Pigs. All that shit happening.
Maybe it really just was a fascist power grab on the likes of LBJ.
But then, absolutely could have been totally
silent
LBJ. But here's the thing: you also have the space race at that time, and what have we been finding out about that? So maybe he found out about something he wasn't supposed to know about. Considering that Nazi UFOs or whatever.
Well, and maybe that's just the end. And maybe that's what happened because, it's commonly known that. LBJ was a Nazi sympathizer, especially if you read a lot of stuff that Jim Mars wrote. He posed himself as a public ally of Israel and a supporter of, war reparations for the Jewish people. But in the background, he was messing with guys like the Dulles brothers, fucking, all the CIA spooks that used to be part of the OSS that had gone over to, help the Nazi ideology that came over with the paperclip scientists, helped it worm its way into the U.S. government.
Now, we're going to have to cut the break here, guys, but you want to call in, you can at any time. That number is 757-525-3276. That's 757-525-3276. We do a lot of work over here at this radio station. And, everybody that comes in here and does their shows and everything, nobody's making any money. We're scraping by to get the equipment that we can get. We have the Patreon site where you guys can hop over and donate money if you want to. But more importantly, the YouTube channel as well, that generates a small amount of revenue for them. And here's the thing. If you like what we're doing here, like I said before in the past, a lot of times shows like this become preaching to the choir. Everybody just talking. It would be basically like a conversation between me and Dan.
Yeah, we want people
we
don't know listening. And
so that's the beautiful thing about this radio station. It enables us to reach an audience that wouldn't normally be exposed to this kind of thing. So if you'd like to continue seeing that happen, you can hop on over, do a one-time donation, do a reoccurring dollar, whatever you want, or just click on some ads. It's up to you guys. We'll see you when we get back for Reality Brief.
What's up, Internet? This is George of the Chocolate Milk and Waffle Show.
And I'm Terrell K. Mercer, also of the Chocolate Milk and Waffle Show.
And we would like to invite you to tune in every Thursday from 8 to 9 on Radio FRadio.com.
Hey, it's Justin from Deprogrammed. Do you like to talk about your favorite bands with your friends? Yeah, well, me too. Tune in every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. to hear us do just that. Only on our station, Radio Free Radio, RadioFRadio.com.
Hey, this is Corey O'Neill.
This is James Clark.
Tune into the FSB show here on our station, RadioFRadio.com, every Thursday at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern to midnight. 2 full hours where we bring you politically incorrect sports talk, outside-the-box, thought-provoking stuff. You can call in here at the station, 757-848-5920. Give us a call, debate us, whatever's on your mind, let us know. We'll go back and forth. Give us a call. Head over to patreon.com/Radio Free Radio. $1 a month gets you everything. Don't miss what we've got going on at our station, RadioFRadio.com. Boom.
Do you ever feel like there's something wrong in the world around you? Do you feel like you're being lied to? Do you think you know more than the people in charge? Join us as we answer these questions and many more. Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. on radiofradio.com.
Hey guys, Matt and Justin here. Do you like things that are funny? Do you like music? Do you like talk? Well, we've got it all on Good Morning You Drunks.
How do you feel about double middle fingers?
I don't like them, but I will accept them.
Oh, Monday nights, 8 p.m. Good Morning You Drunks, only on our station, Radio Free Radio, radiofradio.com.
We promise we're not going to give you double middle fingers.
radiofradio.com.
Did you know that Radio Free Radio has over 100 videos on their YouTube channel? It's true. Check it out. Go to YouTube and type Radio Free Radio, all one word, into the search bar and click subscribe.
Hey Justin, I was just thinking that there's no better way to advertise that hashtag WrestlePals is moving to 10 p.m. every Monday on Radio Free Radio, radiofradio.com, than to cut our own wrestling style promo. Do it.
Monday nights at 10 p.m. Hashtag WrestlePals take the airwaves. And they're going to talk wrestling with you. If you want to call in, you can call 757-848-5920. Can you feel that? Feel the WrestlePals power coursing through your brains! Ah!
I think you just had an aneurysm. That's hashtag WrestlePals every Monday, 10 p.m. Radio Free Radio, radiofradio.com.
Hey guys, this is Ron from Ron to the Hills, and we want to hear from you. Give us a call at 757-848-5920. Shoot us an email at ronhillsshow@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook /Ron to the Hills. And now you can Skype us at ronnie.hills2. Come on, join the Hill people today.
radiofradio.com. radiofradio.com.
I'm not a bit surprised that the Federal Reserve got to the Senate. I had expected Bernie Sanders to offer 604, which was the same as 1207, which is the Audit the Fed bill. And at the last minute, he switched it and watered it down, and really it adds nothing. It's a possibility that it even makes the current conditions worse. This is essentially the bill plus more of the bill we beat in the House Financial Committee, the Mel Watts bill. But this is so disappointing to me that this happened, especially since for months now I've worked with Bernie on this, and he introduced the bill in our language, which was 1207. But as we speak, this is Thursday night, they are working on this on the Senate floor, and we need to get as many messages possible to any senator you can think of, especially to Bernie Sanders' office, that we don't want this version. We want a true audit of the Fed. We need to know what the Open Market Committee does, and we need to know what they're doing overseas with the agreements with central banks and financial institutions and other governments. And in this bill that is being offered, that amendment that is being offered now does not include this. So I am sure that Senator DeMint is working on this and may come up with an alternative. But the only thing that would be fair to the American people, after all this work and energy that we've put into this, is have an up and down vote on what was our 1207 in the House, which is 604 in the Senate. Yes, they may water it down and they may win it, but if they don't have an honest vote on a Senate floor, to me it would be very, very discouraging. But it also shows what kind of forces we're up against. The president doesn't want this. The leadership on Wall Street doesn't want it. The Federal Reserve doesn't want it. So they're powerful forces. But just think of the people that do want it. You know, everybody from progressives and liberal Democrats to libertarians and constitutionalists and the average person, so many of the Tea Party members, they all want this. They want transparency, and they want to find out what's going on at the Fed. So it's very, very important. It's a crucial time, and whether, I doubt if they'll vote tonight, which is Thursday, but they may vote tomorrow. Who knows? They may vote Monday. But it's vital and urgent that we do as much as we can to bombard the Senate with information that we, the people, deserve to have an up and down vote on Audit the Fed bill.
Hey guys, we back. You want to jump in on the conversation? Now is the time to call 757-525-3276. That's 757-525-3276. We'll get you in right in there. You can be part of the conversation. We'd love to hear what you got to think about all of this. So, where are we at? We do, as traditional, have some more UFO sightings for you guys tonight. Now, this one, obviously, if Phantom Spy would say it was CGI. Now, this one here is strikingly similar to the one that we saw last week. The guy took in the plane over Chicago. Let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. So you got the 3 dots holding a triangular formation, kind of rotating around in this triangular formation.
It's a hypertrib.
It's a hypertrib. So, it's interesting.
Can we go back a little bit?
Could
Let's
it be?
see that one more time. I want to see, is it distorting the clouds behind it?
And
It kind of looks like it, but I can't really tell if the distortion is an artifact of the video.
It's such low quality, man. That's the thing about these
It
videos.
Really is,
you
yeah.
think?
How come nobody ever films these fucking UFOs?
I mean, and
in
if you look,
HD?
it
We
looks
got
like
HD
it goes.
cameras everywhere.
It goes behind the cloud there.
Nobody filmed.
I mean, if that's CGI, it did a pretty good job, I think.
Yep, A for effort, fellas.
So you can see there it's holding the triangular formation. I mean, it looks really similar to the one we saw last week. Excuse me. So, I mean, people are posting UFO videos left and right all the time. But what we do have for you, if you guys have been paying attention to any of the, the deep web stuff, we've got pyramids in Alaska.
Really?
Right.
That's pretty far out.
It is pretty far out.
First I heard of that one.
So, world's oldest pyramids found in Alaska shocks scientific community. Could it be possible that Alaska has the world's oldest man-made pyramids? And if true, is the recent snow and ice melting going to reveal even more ancient structures in the future? Amazingly, a small team of explorers have just announced that they have indeed found at least 2 ancient pyramids. Currently, only the upper portions of the pyramids are exposed, but the general shape is obvious. The team was able to find the outer rock edges of one pyramid. The stones were obviously stacked one on top of the other, comparable to Egyptian pyramids. The team actually made the discovery by accident while on a hiking expedition. There's some photos and stuff, but even more relevant is this. For those of you may know who Linda Moulton Howe is, Linda Moulton Howe.
Yeah, I've heard her on Coast to Coast a whole bunch.
She runs the site Earth Files. She's been a journalist for a long time, covering many of the topics that we cover here. We do have a piece where she has some inside information from someone. If I can get the sound to come through, because it doesn't look like it is. Sorry, guys. More technical difficulties here on Reality Brief. It wouldn't be hour 2 unless there was technical difficulties.
Praise kick.
Praise kick. Okay.
You back?
No, you know what I need to do? I just need to change some settings real quick. Sorry, guys. You got any news bits for us while we wait there?
Well, according to Exopolitics, there's not just pyramids in Alaska. According to Exopolitics, they got a picture posted. The article is by Dr. Michael Salla, who we've heard this name come up multiple times before in our talks about the secret space program. They say Curiosity rover photographs pyramid on Mars, and there's this very, sort of convincing picture here on Mars, which is funny because, most of this picture is visible, and then like one big chunk of it is just pixel vomit. No, I guess that's an enlargement, but it says on May 7th, so this is going back to May 7th, I guess, at this year?
Yeah.
Curiosity rover photographed what clearly appears to be a pyramid on Mars. The pyramid is estimated to be the size of a small car or a capstone of a much larger pyramid buried beneath the Martian sand. The straight line geometry and symmetry of the pyramid points to it being an artificially created rather than mere geological formation. Wouldn't that be nice? The pyramid is among the clearest photographic evidence collected so far that artificial structures exist on Mars built by an earlier civilization. Image was captured by Curiosity rover's right mast cam on Sol 978, that's May 7th. Despite the startling symmetry of the pyramid, none of Curiosity rover's subsequent photos taken at 20 to 30 second intervals in the following few minutes and subsequent photos hours later include the object. It appears the NASA operators of Curiosity deliberately chose not to take another photo. Isn't it always deliberate? Or zoom in on the pyramid. If they however did so, none of these subsequent photos were released to the general public. And of course, they've got a video here and everything. I hope that'd be great. But again, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and there are plenty of places here on Earth. As bad as I want to believe, I think there's a place in I think it's Ireland called the Giant Staircase. Maybe it's somewhere up in Sweden or Norway or something. But there are these huge hexagonal blocks, almost perfect hexagons, that break out of the Earth, and it's actually due to the crystalline structure of the rock. It's not artificial at all. So there's a lot of stuff out there that looks like it could be man-made, but it's not. So, maybe it is possible that a pyramid-shaped rock could be there on Mars, but is it sculpted by the hands of man or some other species? Again, I need some really convincing proof. It's very possible that you could have a rock that splits into a triangular angle like that due to the crystalline structure of the rock itself.
That's very true. However, there are a lot of anomalous things on Mars that I've seen. And, to me, that picture it looks like a pyramid, man.
I mean, it does. That's not in dispute. It's definitely a pointy rock with at least two triangular sides to it. We can't really see what's on the other side of it, so... for all you know, it could be rounded, it could be jagged, you don't know. It says here, the Mars Global Surveyor object is symmetrical with what appears to be observation windows. Okay, they got this other picture here of what appears to be, it looks like windows built into a cliff face on Mars. It says, no telltale signs of atmospheric wear and tear. The object has a smooth contour with polished edges. Now, I've seen sand dunes that do that have that same sort of visual effect where there's a layer of silica sand or something shiny, coming out from under a layer of primarily iron oxide sand. So, or maybe nitrites that are a little shinier, Epsom salts. They figured out that's what that big shiny thing in the middle of the crater on Ceres is a deposit of pretty much Epsom salts. So these things do exist in nature. It's a big deposit of magnesium salts.
Now, there's a thing called the Anomaly Hunters Family Organization, I think it is.
Yeah.
It's like UAF something.
FAHM, I think it was.
If you guys look up that, now there's a lot of stuff.
UFAH.
That these people, it's a group of people all kind of affiliated loosely with each other that just essentially look around in Antarctica, Mars, the moon, different pictures looking for different anomalous things. And
the first picture they have up on their page on UFAH, it's a picture of Pluto, the surface of Pluto from New Horizons. And they say structural anomalies on the planet Pluto by Coach Billy Carson of Mars Discoveries and Solar System Anomalies. So it's a raw picture, and I can't really tell what they're pointing out.
Yeah, I couldn't tell what they were pointing out on that one either. I mean, it just looks like some mountains there.
Yeah, it looks like
Pluto.
it looks like a bunch of ice.
But this one, on the other hand, is pretty interesting. I'm going to go ahead and pull that up for you guys. I got it right here. And there it is. Right there on the left. Now, looking at this picture, it really does look like a statue, like two statues sitting next to each other. Up on the top, image there on the left, you can see that's the original footage. And then at the bottom, they filtered it a little bit, increased the contrast. And that figure, it looks like two figures to me sitting there. Like the one guy looks like he's sitting there, Indian style with his hands on his knees. You see this?
It looks like an astronaut and a hunchback, like chilling.
I mean, it's pretty interesting. It could be light play, things like that, but it's just littered with stuff. This guy in this one here, he's claiming that that's some sort of vehicle. I just don't see it.
Yeah,
it looks like a rock to me.
Looks like a rock.
This one here is pretty interesting. It definitely looks like some type of insectoid-looking thing there.
I just see a pile of rubble.
This one, however,
now,
is pretty convincing to me.
Yeah, do they got something like hopping across the surface?
You can see here.
Show me some shit that moves.
It looks like a foundation of a building. I mean, it's a 90-degree square thin wall. I mean,
well, how many probes have we lost on Mars? I mean, it could just be space junk.
You're telling me that 90-degree rock is space junk?
No, I don't think it's rock. I think it could be metal that's fell off of a previous rocket or mission to Mars. That's
I don't know, man. That'd be a pretty
as it
large.
came down through the atmosphere.
Wouldn't there be a crater?
Not if it's just a random piece of metal. If it's flying down at like a 90-degree angle like that, it would probably cut right into the ground like a ninja star, get stuck there, and start rusting.
Let's see. This one here definitely looks like a face too. They're comparing it to Greek architecture. You can see there. I mean, the original image, like original image even looks clearer than their supposedly contrasted one. It definitely looks like a face.
Oh, maybe we finally figured out where Donald Trump's hair comes from.
It comes from Mars, guys. It comes from Mars. I mean, there's so much stuff on the site. It looks like it's built up of about 5 or 6 different organizations.
Well, they certainly do have some damn weird pictures.
Mm-hmm.
But again, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Yeah, I saw that in the Sphinx.
Now, the thing that kills me about all this is the cameras they have on these probes, man. I've seen crystal clear, high-res images. I mean, but you get these ones that they release, and it's just you zoom in, and it's crap, man.
Yeah, it's just pixel vomit, and that's why I think
and
that
look at
there's
this.
a lot to be said for the claims of that. Oh, it's just pareidolia, or pareidolia, or I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it's the human mind's natural propensity for picking out faces and patterns. Like when you stand there and look up at the clouds and be like, "Oh, that one looks like Santa Claus."
Now there is some stuff, and I'm looking for this one in particular. It looks like a set of wheels on an axle, and I don't know what kind of natural explanation you can give for that. I'm having trouble finding it now.
I heard a report recently that they had actually discovered that the MRO, the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, had actually discovered what had happened to a previous mission to Mars that had gone missing.
Oh, yeah?
I think it was the Beagle 2, and it had crashed somewhere in the northern hemisphere of Mars. And they recently surveyed the wreckage from it and had positively identified it as the remains of Beagle 2.
We got another interesting piece here from simplecapacity.com. Science finally confirms that people absorb energy from others.
Huh, no shit.
A biological research team at Bielefeld University has made a groundbreaking discovery showing that plants can draw an alternative source of energy from other plants. This finding could also have a major impact on the future of bioenergy, eventually providing the evidence to show that people draw energy from others in much the same way. Members of Professor Dr. Olaf Krus's biological research team have confirmed for the first time that a plant, the green algae Chlamydodamus reinhardtii,
I hear they make it green for that.
Nazi plant, not only engages in photosynthesis, but also has an alternative source of energy. It can draw it from other plants. The research findings were released this week in the online journal Nature Communications, published by the renowned journal Nature. Flowers need water and light to grow, and people are no different. Our physical bodies are like sponges, soaking up the environment.
I don't need light. God damn the sun.
This is exactly why there are certain people who feel uncomfortable in specific group settings where there's a mix of energy and emotions, said psychologist and energy healer Dr. Olivia Bader-Lee. Energy healer, huh? Plants engage in the photosynthesis of carbon dioxide, water, and light. In a series of experiments, Professor I'm sorry. It's Professor Dr. Olaf Cruz and his team cultivated
Sounds
the
like a Guar video.
microscopically small green algae species and observed that when faced with a shortage of energy, these single-celled plants can draw energy from neighboring vegetable cellulose instead. The algae secretes enzymes, so-called cellulose enzymes, that digest the cellulose, breaking it down to smaller sugar components. These are then transported to the cells and transformed into the source of energy. So, while it's not direct proof of humans absorbing energy from other humans, it kind of definitely opens the door for that. Now, we've all heard stories of psychic vampires, and now we do know that each person has an energy field around them, sometimes referred to as an aura. It's an EM field. It can be photographed. And you used to have an aura, but now you're dead inside?
Yep.
It can be photographed, and, it begs the question now, can you suck that energy from other people? I mean, positively and negatively charged.
Well, apparently...
It's attractions, you know what I mean? The electrons flowing, it is an EM field.
A couple of weeks ago when Hillary took that spill and, went stumbling up the stairs of her bus, I heard that as soon as they got her in, they just handed her a kitten. She sucked the soul right out of it and was fine.
Sucked the soul right out of that kitten. We've got Russia article about the SSP.
We've talked about how America's not the only country with a secret space program, that there are gaping holes in every country's budget that should be big enough to accommodate some pretty hefty military-industrial complex work. Well, Russia's secret UFO war. The Kremlin has allegedly been fighting a war against giant underwater aliens and USOs, I guess undersea objects, for decades, according to a new book and video. This is by John Thomas Didymus. Yeah, maybe you did, buddy. Two experts in Russian ufology claim in a new book that since early in the Soviet era, there have been strange and alarming reports about Russian Navy personnel encountering mysterious alien beings and underwater craft in frozen northern waters, especially in the East Siberian Sea. Maybe this ties in with that pyramid in Alaska, huh? Although files and documents pertaining to the sightings and encounters are kept secret, several were leaked to researchers. The leaked documents suggest that Russian authorities have been struggling secretly for decades with the threat of mysterious alien beings and unidentified submersible objects, a term for underwater UFOs, lurking under the freezing waters of the Siberian Sea. Let's see. The leaked Soviet and Russian files have provided a wealth of information about UFO sightings and encounters with underwater alien life forms, mysterious alien submersibles, and in some cases, spacecraft dropping pods into the Siberian Sea, according to authors and Russian ufology researchers Paul Stonehill and Philip Mantle in a new book titled Russia's USO Secrets: Unidentified Submersible Objects in Russian and International Waters. The authors claim that they were able to access a cache of leaked files at the Russian Ufology Center that contained detailed information about a series of sightings of underwater craft, so-called hydrosphere aspect sightings, by Russian Navy personnel in Russian and international waters, according to the website UFO Info. They are also able to obtain access to other top-secret files leaked to UFO researchers by whistleblowers within the Russian intelligence services, according to Express. Many of the files contain startling witness reports by naval and intelligence officers. The files reveal that Russia has been involved in a secret war against alleged sinister 3-meter-tall aquatic alien beings and mysterious underwater craft lurking in the dark, icy waters of the East Siberian Sea. Sounds nice down there. Yeah. The giant aquatic beings were first encountered by military divers at a depth of about 50 meters in Siberian waters. Russian submarines also reported several close encounters with mysterious, unidentified submersible objects, USOs. The Soviets and later the Russian authorities moved to quickly suppress public awareness of the strange sightings by discrediting and ridiculing independent witnesses with clever memes, researchers and journalists who went public with testimonies about the strange beings in Siberian waters. Stonehill and Mantle cited several examples of encounters with the alien beings in their USO crafts in northern waters. In 1982, 2 military officers, Mark Steinberg and Lieutenant Colonel Gennady Zverev, supervising the training of Russian reconnaissance divers, or frogmen, of the Turkestan and Central Asian military regions at Issyk-Kul Lake in the Transilsk Alatau area, were visited by Major General V. Demyanko, commander of the Soviet military service and engineer of the engineer forces of the Ministry of Defense, who warned them to look out for mysterious underwater humanoid creatures, according to Pravda. Oh, that's a reliable source, Pravda. There we go.
Is that it?
He told officers that the warning became necessary after divers performing similar training exercises in the Trans-Baikal and West Siberian military regions had shocking encounters with strange creatures at a depth of about 50 meters. The creatures, according to the Russian general, were dressed in silvery bodysuits with strange-looking sphere-shaped helmets over their heads, but no scuba diving equipment visible. The encounter caused the military authorities alarm, and the Russian Navy sent 7 divers and 1 officer to capture the creatures. After the men found one of the mysterious creatures and attempted to capture it in a net, they were flung out of the deep waters to the surface by a mysterious force. The rapid forced ejection from a depth of about 50 meters did not allow the men to go through decompression process. Consequently, the men suffered severe effects of aeroembolism, Caisson's disease, also known as the bends. This condition is caused... Well, okay, that happens because nitrogen bubbles form in your blood when you decompress too quickly. The Navy documents also reported spectacular UFO sightings by Russian personnel sailing in international waters in the East Siberian Sea.
Now, you know...
These aren't the first reports I've heard of huge objects moving underwater at, insane speeds, like Mach 2, Mach 3.
Now,
faster than you should be able to go underwater. So maybe if there is something to Alkubi air drive and... a warp drive that alters space around you, maybe it works just as well underwater as it does in space, and maybe this is the technology that we're looking at.
There's also Christopher Columbus in his journal said that he saw something come up out of the water. I mean,
reports from Indonesian fishermen about this all the time. People on Japanese fishing boats too.
The whole UFO phenomena goes hand in hand with this USO phenomena. I mean, it's the UFOs are coming down and going underwater. I mean, do they have bases underwater? Are they getting into...
I've seen The Abyss. I know it's good.
Yeah. Are they getting into, secret cavities that bring them to places like Antarctica, like we talked about with the Nazis?
Yeah, or maybe places deep in the Canadian interior or even under Russia. All of northern Siberia is dotted with lakes, glacial lakes that have been carved out by glaciers moving over the Earth.
And think about this. They said they found a vast, gigantic ocean underneath Eurasia. So underneath Russia and China, there's a vast underground ocean. Now, obviously, there could be islands or anything in there. It may not be water to the top of the cavern. I mean,
you're saying part of it could be air and
absolutely, just like they say in Antarctica with the Nazis, how they founded their bases there, going through caverns that were cut out by natural hot springs and then finding cavities under the ice to build their bases out.
So it also stands to reason. We've talked about how if we're going to colonize Mars or colonize the moon, it may be necessary to basically get there, start digging, find a nice crater and cover it up, or find some nice lava tubes, build your habitat into those. So if you're coming from another planet and you can't breathe the air, but there's huge caverns, it's a lot easier to, get underwater, get into one of those caverns, fill it with something you can breathe, and then worry about terraforming the rest of the planet later.
We do have another UFO sighting for you. This one is really, really quite perplexing. Obviously any of these could be CGI. Phantom Spy would automatically say it was CGI without even looking at it, but we're going to go ahead and play this one for you.
Come on, fellas.
Very interesting, and it's a shame we don't have the audio for you because the reaction of the people that are sitting here seeing this and filming it is just priceless, man. They are freaking out, which I would be if I saw this. I mean, look at this. You got a giant light, spits out a light, spits out another light.
See, this is why I need a laser pointer. Like one of those
laser
pointers.
I mean,
if I ever see some shit like that, I'm pulling out my laser pointer and I'm just flashing SOS. Come scoop, dog. Come scoop.
This is in the U.S., and it's definitely over a major population center. You can see all the lights from the city. outside of CGI, I have no explanation from this other than some sort of crafts. I mean, it's insane. Like I said, I wish we had the audio because if you guys could hear
Oh shit, there's 5 of
them freaking out. And look, a nice little line.
Wow.
Just amazing. I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's not flares. It's not swamp gas.
Not balloons. You sure it could be balloons?
Yeah.
It
Not
could be
Chinese
balloons with little drones.
Not
inside of
Chinese
them.
lanterns. I mean, like I said, it
what
could
if-
be CGI.
what
We
if
could be
they're-
looking at CGI.
What if they're drones
obviously.
inside of balloons?
That's why I wish I had the
Inside of
audio
bigger balloons.
because
Inside your mind.
the people's reactions, they're good actors if you know what I mean, if that was fake, their reactions to this was fake, it was pretty good acting. And then you notice that one swallows up the last one there. It pulses for a little bit and then boom, gone. Just disappears. So I mean, what the hell is that?
It did its best impersonation of the value of U.S. currency.
It's insane. I mean, you know. Hey, Justin. You want to take a look at this to see if you can make heads or tails of this? We're going to go ahead and play that again for you. It's pretty crazy. Now, you can see, like I said, it starts with the light. It spits out about 5 of them guys.
Whoa. Whoa.
Sorry, if you're listening on the radio, you need to jump over to the YouTube channel right now to check this
Yeah.
out. It's pretty amazing.
Whoa.
There's number 3 coming down. And you notice how they line up like that. They just, like they're...
Yeah, there's like a formation.
Mm-hmm. Comes the next one. Now, is that big bright light some kind of gate? Some kind of portal or something that they're coming through? Or is that a mothership?
Maybe it's a portal to a mothership.
Quite
Whoa,
possibly.
dude.
And then there's the 5th one. Now you'll see the
Look at
ones
that.
on the edge kind of just be like, I'm out.
They were perfectly spaced apart, too.
Mhm.
All right, we'll be back. We got important orb shit to do.
Whoa, dude. I have no idea. I really don't.
Wait, check this out. You'll see this, man. It's yeah. Like I said, if you guys are on the radio, you need to hop over to YouTube and check this out.
Uh-oh.
And then she goes, "Shloop." Well, see, I guess if that was some kind of a portal, it seems like the portal moved.
Yeah, I was going to say that the bigger one.
Right.
Whoa.
Gone.
Where was this?
I can't remember exactly where it was. It is definitely somewhere in the U.S. Like I said, if we had the audio, the audio was priceless, man. I swear, if that was people faking it, man, they are damn good actors. They need an Emmy for that one.
Well, you know, if we see things like that, if you see anything like that over Hampton Roads, take pictures, send it in. We'll air it. It'll be pretty cool.
You know, I was perusing MUFON, and
that was pretty trippy, Don. And you know what else is you want some good shit, man?
Yeah.
You want some fucking magic?
I do.
You want some stuff that's gonna make you trip balls?
Oh no.
Oh yes. But this is posted on Collective Evolution, so I know it's not exactly, they might be tripping too, but check this out. A new species of psychedelic lichen found to contain psilocybin and DMT. This article written by Alana Kettler, October 14th. A newly discovered species of lichen from Ecuador. Hey, Ecuador! That contains both tryptamine and psilocybin has recently been discovered, dispelling the belief that the infamous magic mushrooms are the only plant, fungus.
Dude, that must be
species
why
containing
Ecuador
this
cut the internet, man.
hallucinogenic they were tripping, huh?
They were tripping hard, dude. They didn't even realize.
We gotta
it.
shut the internet off, man. I'm freaking
out. They're coming through the wires.
Lichens are of particular interest to biologists because of their symbiotic relationship between algae and fungi. The fungus creates the network that sustains, hydrates, and protects the algae, which in turn generates the sugars necessary to feed it through photosynthesis. While they both exhibit plant-like characteristics, neither are actually plants. They are composite organisms that are tripping so hard they think they're plants. This makes the psychedelic lichen even more intriguing. Scientists have been speculating about this particular lichen for some time. Rigorous testing is needed before researchers can claim anything as fact, however, making anecdotal evidence simply insufficient. And so, despite reports from a local tribe about its hallucinogenic effects, researchers could not positively affirm the lichen to be so, although psilocybin is known to be a psychedelic compound. So, how was this species of lichen discovered? In 1981, ethnobotanists Jim Yost and Wade Davis were doing some field work in the dense rainforests of Ecuador when a local tribe, the Waorani, directed them to the lichen. Yost had previously heard about the existence of this hallucinogenic plant, but it was so rare that he never believed he would actually be able to encounter it, despite having searched for it for 7 years.
You think he ate it?
Oh, deep, I'm sure.
Oh, man.
How could you not?
It said it produces DMT and psychocillin.
Yeah, check it out.
So it's like eating mushrooms and DMT at the same time?
Yeah, check this out.
Oh, my God. That's a spiritual trip right there, baby.
Looked for it for 7 years. In a paper written in 1983 detailing their discovery, the ethnobotanists wrote, in the spring of 1981, while we were engaged in ethnobotanical studies in eastern Ecuador, our attention was drawn to a most peculiar use of hallucinogens by the Waorani, a small isolated group of some 600 Indians. Amongst most Amazonian tribes, hallucinogenic intoxication is considered to be a collective journey into the subconscious, and as such is a quintessentially social event. The Waorani, however, are a bunch of party poopers because they consider the use of hallucinogens to be an aggressive antisocial act. So the shaman, or Ido, who desires to project a curse, takes the drug alone or accompanied by only his wife at night in the secrecy of the forest or an isolated house. Well, really, it's the best way to do it. But anyway.
So there you have it. Magic mold.
The lichen was so elusive that the Waorani people, even the Waorani people themselves, did not possess it, referring to it as Nenindape. They told the botanists that while their shamans had once used it, they had not done so in 4 generations, approximately 80 years, when a bad shaman ate it to send a curse to cause other Waorani to die.
Whoa.
So what did their research on this reveal? 3 days later, the DNA of the lichen was fully analyzed, providing that it was indeed a new species of And in 2014, a team of researchers led by Michaela Schmull studied the lichen, and also by now known as Dictyonema hawarani, and used a technique called liquid chromatography mass spectrometry. There you go. LCMS. There you go.
You've been eating lichen, haven't you?
To determine which chemical compounds existed in its tissues. The tests were positive to the presence of psilocybin, tryptamine, 5-MeO-DMT, 5-MeO-P, I don't even know what that is.
Oh my God, dude.
5-NEO-MMT, and 5-MT. I don't even know what those are, but they sound like fun.
Dude, it is a basket of tripping balls.
Seriously. This is like a year's worth of Ozzy shows back in one creature. This composition of chemicals makes this lichen a very interesting and unique specimen indeed. It's the only known species to exist with this specific grouping of substances. Researchers concluded that due to our inability to use pure reference compounds and scarce amount for sample for compound identification, however, our analyses were not able to determine conclusively the presence of the hallucinogenic substances. Well, yeah, they probably ate it all.
Yeah, no doubt. So that's pretty interesting there. New magic mushrooms for you, but even rarer. So
next week, the FDA moves to ban a rare Ecuadorian lichen.
Now we got a little article here that I think previous co-host Ronnie would just love because it fits into his whole theory of Russia is fixing the election for Trump via the email leaks so they can go to war with us, which I think is totally backwards because I think we got a stronger chance under a Clinton administration with immediate war with Russia. But
yeah, all the rumor eggs are saying that Putin says, if Hillary gets elected, it's war. Don't know if any of those are reliable, but that's the kind of crap that's floating around on the internet.
That being said, we got here from The Independent. The betting pattern that signals a Trump presidency isn't as remote as the world thinks. William Hill slashes odds on Trump victory amid betting patterns eerily reminiscent of those seen in the lead up to the EU referendum, which was Brexit. And everybody was totally stunned that Brexit went through. So, it is news that will strike fear into the hearts of perhaps half of America and large chunks of the world outside of it. Despite a calamitous week of campaigning, betting markets on the U.S. election are almost a mirror image of those on Britain's EU referendum at this stage, and they could be pointing to a victory for Donald Trump. All right, before we go any further, I just want to remind everyone that Homeland Security is taking control of the election, so if there's going to be any fraud, it ain't going to be for Donald Trump. So I just don't see how Donald Trump is going to win, even if he gets the votes.
Yeah, it's not going to matter because I mean, you know which way it's rigged.
Bookmaker William Hill says 71% of the money so far is stacked for Democrat Hillary Clinton, but 65% of the bets by number are for controversial Republican. That means a lot more punters are putting smaller bets on Trump. Almost exactly the same.
To call him a Republican.
Almost exactly the same pattern as we've seen in the run-up to the Brexit vote, when the money was for Remain, but the majority of bets were for Leave. The bookie has cut the odds on a Trump victory from 11-2 to 4-1 over the past 2 days in response to a surge in bets for the reality TV star and businessman turned politician.
You know, I believe it. Like we've talked about this on the show before. Like, the popular support for Trump is there.
It is.
Like,
it is, man.
I've seen people wearing bumper stickers, hats, you know, all the comments online on all the news pages. Like, the popular support is there, and I think there's enough people that are have that perfect mix of being misinformed enough and angry enough to go vote for him.
Mm-hmm.
The only place I really see any support for Hillary is either government employees, college liberals, or, you know, paste-eating morons on the internet.
I mean, they're not all. Look, you got people that are voting out of fear too. I mean, you got people that are voting to just try and keep Hillary Clinton from winning. I mean,
or just to try.
I know someone personally who is very, very intelligent and is gonna vote for Trump, and just for the reason that fuck Hillary Clinton, which I can see because Gary Johnson ain't gonna win. It doesn't matter. But you know, when you boil it down, any vote for anyone is a vote for Hillary Clinton.
Except Vermin
Supreme. And to kind of drive that fact home for you,
if you vote for Vermin Supreme,
Soros Connected Company provides voting machines in 16 states. That's right.
Hot damn.
Your buddy and pal, George Soros.
Yeah, why doesn't he just buy Diebold already?
Smartmatic,
Maybe
a UK-based voting technology company with deep ties to George Soros, has control over voting machines in 16 states, including battleground zones like Arizona, Colorado, Florida, Michigan, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. You hear that, guys?
Boy.
Look out. Look out. You're going to go vote on a Soros machine.
If you do take part in this sham of an election, and, you know, we're not saying you should, but if you do, if you absolutely have to, you know, if you can't keep it in your pants and you got to go vote, demand a paper ballot. Do not use a machine. Those things are fucking rigged. And if you go online and you look up a documentary, what was it, HBO's Hacking Democracy, it shows you just how easy it is to hack a Diebold machine.
Go to blackboxvoting.org. They got it all laid out right there. That lady, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but brilliant. She is all over it, man, from chain of custody to everything, exposing it left and right. Blackboxvoting.org. Now, its website includes a flowchart that describes how the company has contributed to elections in the U.S. from 06 to 15, with 57,000 voting and counting machines deployed and 35 million voters assisted. Yeah, they're assisting you with your vote and making you vote for who they want you to. In 2005,
kind of like how Ted Bundy assisted all those women.
Yeah, in 2000, and kind of like Trump assisted all those women, you know, by the genitals. In 2005, Smartmatic brought out California-based Sequoia voting systems and entered the world of U.S. elections. According to Smartmatic's website, in less than 1 year, Smartmatic tripled Sequoia's market share and has offered technology and support services to the electoral commissions of 307 counties in 16 states. Among the case studies that Smartmatic lists on its website as examples of work are Venezuela, where it has been facilitating elections since 2004, when it won a bid to provide Venezuela with a reliable voting system. All right, George Soros providing the world with a reliable voting system. If you believe that, we've got a pair of bridges to sell you, and they're real cheap. It also lists...
I was about to say, what does that say about the chairman of Smartmatic? What's that guy's name?
It also lists Cook County, Illinois as another success story when in 2006, Smartmatic signed what at the moment was the largest election automation contract in U.S. history. Cook County includes Chicago and its suburbs, a geographic zone that has historically and lately been subject to criticism for voter fraud and Soros turf. Totally. You got Rahm blah, blah, blah. All that whole crowd there from Chicago. The chairman of Smartmatic is Lord Mark Malloch Brown.
Malloch Brown?
Who sits in the British
Does he
House
give a
of
hoot?
Lords and on the board of George Soros Open Society Foundations.
Moloch hoots for
He
you.
was formerly the vice chairman of Soros Investment Funds and even the deputy secretary general of the United Nations when he worked as chief of staff to Kofi Annan. Malloch Brown's resume includes stints as vice president of the UN World Bank and in British Prime Minister Gordon Brown's
Wow,
cabinet.
they're sending out the big guns for this one.
Look, guys, if this isn't blatantly obvious to you that the shit is rigged by now, you got these guys sitting, I mean, come on. Please, just see it.
Oh, in addition to a close relationship with Soros, Lord Malloch Brown has worked with consulting firms that are well connected to Bill and Hillary Clinton. He was an international partner with the Sawyer Miller Consulting Firm and was a senior advisor to FDI Consulting. And one of his alumni is Mandy Grunwald, who ran the firm's communications contract for Bill Clinton's 1992 presidential run. She was also the head of communications for Hillary's unsuccessful 08 bid. God damn, I reckon. See, this is what I mean when I say hiding in plain sight.
This is
That's exactly what hiding in plain sight is all about. Like, if you could write a book on that shit, here it is.
Jackson Dunn, who is a senior managing director with FTI Consulting, spent 15 years in Washington, where he worked as an aide to President Bill Clinton and Senator Hillary Clinton. Smartmatic has already encountered controversy in the ongoing presidential contest. It ran the online balloting for the Utah Republican caucus last March, when many critics said it was impossible to secure personal electronic devices that are used to register and vote. So there you have it. George Soros rigging it up. And that's just 16 of the states, 307 counties, and 16 of the states with those ones. That's not even touching Diebold machines and all the rest of the jam. Now, what do we know from the Clinton leaks? So far, we've got it coming out that the Clinton campaign was responsible for inciting the violence at the Trump rallies. The thing in Chicago that got shut down, all that stuff. It's the Clinton campaign doing this, right? We've got complete media collusion with the Clinton campaign. And I think this is why when Donald Trump says all the elections rigged, this is what he's talking about, I believe. I don't think he's ballsy enough to really go after the machines yet. We'll see what happens. Now, I really firmly believe that Hillary Clinton is gonna win, and there's not much that's gonna change that opinion aside from her actually losing. Now, if I see her lose and Trump wins, I will apologize and I will admit that I was wrong, but it's not going to happen, and I've been saying the same thing the whole time.
One thing that we do know from the WikiLeaks dumps is that, not surprisingly, the Hillary Clinton campaign has been egging on the Trump campaign through the primaries. There's a lot of discussion about whether or not Trump has been a Clinton plant the entire time, and if you follow the money that came rolling through during the primary season, it would certainly seem that the Clinton campaign wanted Donald Trump to win that election, that they're afraid of what would happen if a real conservative like Rand Paul, or maybe even somebody like Ted Cruz.
But I don't feel like Rand. I don't feel.
He's not a
and I
libertarian.
know my buddy Paco would disagree with this, but I think Rand Paul is a snake in the damn grass, and I don't feel like he upholds. He talks the good talk, but his actions don't reflect his words, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree, and I think he's definitely way more mealy-mouthed than his dad. I had a lot of respect for Ron Paul. Rand Paul, not so much, but he's definitely more of a conservative than any of the other clowns running, except for maybe Ted Cruz. But even Ted Cruz is a Goldman Sachs shill, so I digress.
Yeah, with his wife being
a
member.
Hillary didn't want to win in that fucking primary. That's the point.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you know that? I don't know if you knew this or not, but we discussed this on Ron on the Hills. Ted Cruz's wife wrote the white paper towards the North American community for the CFR.
Ain't that something?
Ain't that some shit? So there you go. There's another guy up there talking the talk, and the whole time behind the scenes working for the same fuckwads.
Well, there is a lot of confusion from this WikiLeaks dump, but Zero Hedge reports this week, while it's unclear if it was done on purpose by mistake, or if it's new disclosure moments ago, a folder within what appears to be the giant WikiLeaks server seems to have opened at the URL file.wikileaks.org/file, which everything you guys want to know about what's in the WikiLeaks dump, it's there. Alternatively, this may just be a release of old WikiLeaks files repackaged without a website wrapper. Some readers have pointed out that some of the files in this can be found online, but this is basically, a bunch of their stuff downloaded for everybody to see.
There's stuff about Bilderberg in there. There's stuff about child sex rings, global child sex rings. There's all kinds of shit in this WikiLeaks
emails
stuff.
about
Now,
directed energy
I will
weapons
direct
and
you there
stuff.
once again. It is file.wikileaks.com. Or is it .org?
I think
It's file. In front of WikiLeaks. So
yeah, file.wikileaks.
But for the last few minutes of the show, guys, we're going to take you out on a more brighter note. The latest patent for the Impossible EM drive has just been made public, and it's wild. It's been a big year for the Impossible EM drive, a new kind of rocket engine that appears to generate thrust without any kind of exhaust or propellant. So essentially, it's a box with microwaves bouncing around inside of it that creates thrust from nothing, completely shattering what we know about physics.
Or if it's got to be from something. I mean, we just don't know what that is.
Back in May, NASA researchers reported a successful 10-week trial of their EM drive prototype, and inventor Guido Feta just got approval to test his own version in space.
Why does that sound like a cheese?
Now it's an Italian goat cheese. Now the UK Intellectual Property Office has released a patent application from British EM drive inventor Roger Scheuer, and he says millions of pounds rest on the success of the design within. The patent process is a very significant process. It's not like an academic peer review where everyone hides behind an anonymous review. It's all out in the open. This is a proper professional way of establishing prior ownership done by professionals in the patent office. So
this
it just
guy is
so
not
happened
pulling a Tesla. He's actually copywriting all of his work or patenting it. Good for him.
For the uninitiated, the EM drive was first invented by Scheuer back in '99, and despite experimental evidence suggesting that such an engine could work, it's been courting controversy ever since. Why? Well, it just so happens to violate one of the most fundamental laws of physics we have known, Newton's third law, which states, to each action there is an equal and opposite reaction. In its most basic form, the EM drive uses electromagnetic waves as fuel, creating thrust by bouncing microwave photons back and forth inside a cone-shaped closed metal cavity. This causes the pointy end of the EM drive to accelerate in the opposite direction that the photons are pushing. But there's the problem. An equal and opposite reaction means something needs to be pushed out back of the propulsion system in order for it to move forward, and the EM drive doesn't have an exhaust. Newton's third law states that without an exhaust you can't produce thrust. But experiments from NASA and a number of other research teams around the world have shown that not only can the EM drive produce thrust, it can theoretically produce enough to power an entire spacecraft.
Okay, so tell me this. It says there's no exhaust, but, I mean, energy has to be leaving it somehow. So perhaps the motion through space-time itself is the exhaust, and we just haven't sorted the physics behind it yet.
Possibly. Either way, it's definitely turning physics as we know it on its head. That's why there's such controversy over it.
Well, there's so much we haven't figured out yet.
Obviously. And you know what? We haven't figured it out. Me and you haven't figured it out. But down there in the deep black budget programs, they know all this shit, and we're just now finding out about it. They're flying around in this shit 30 years ago. Guaranteed. If we can power spacecraft with such an engine, it could replace the incredibly expensive and heavy rocket fuel that's been a major hurdle in getting us much of anywhere in the solar system. As Harold Sony White, leader of the research group over at NASA's Eaglework Laboratories, says a crewed mission to Mars in an EM drive-powered spacecraft could arrive at Mars in a mind-boggling 70 days. That's less than half the time NASA has estimated it would take using current technology. And I'm pretty sure they could probably fucking get there faster if they wanted to.
Yeah, they just got to dribble the stuff out for public consumption.
Yeah, a little bit at a time, here and there, a little bit at a time. Here, have this little nugget. Have this little nugget. Have this little nugget. So is this guy someone who's involved in these programs, or is this guy someone who just stumbled upon this shit that they already knew about and they've been trying to put it down until now it's finally time to let it start coming back out?
He just went straight public with it, so they can't really do nothing else.
Well,
they have a little diagram here that shows you. Well, actually, it's got a link to the patent too. If you guys go to sciencealert.com and look for, patent for impossible EM drive has just been made public, you'll find it.
That's going to be it for this week, guys. Thanks for watching, sticking in through all the technical difficulties. We're going to have to cut off now because we got another show coming on after us. And we'll see you next week.
Be on the lookout for High Strangeness.
High
Thanks,
Strangeness.
Radioland.
Hey, you guys got
Reality Brief.
You got screens, shots of UFOs, interesting stories. You can send it to us at realitybrief@gmail.com. Hit us up on Facebook. Whatever you got to do, guys. Thanks for listening.
Hey, Justin, I was just thinking that there's no better way to advertise that hashtag WrestlePals is moving to 10 p.m. every Monday on Radio Free Radio, RadioFradio.com, than to cut our own wrestling-style promo. Do it.
Monday nights at 10 p.m. Hashtag WrestlePals take the airwaves. And they're going to talk wrestling with you. If you want to call in, you can call 757-848-5920. Can you feel that? Feel the WrestlePals power coursing through your brains! Ah!
I think you just had an aneurysm. That's hashtag WrestlePals every Monday, 10 p.m. Radio Free Radio, RadioFradio.com.
Common thing I get from
What's up, what's up, what's up? What's going on, everybody? It's the kid, Rudy Malumba. You've tuned in to the great show. How's everybody? How's everybody doing? This is weird. I feel like I'm talking to an audience right now. They can't respond. So it's all good. I'm sitting here in the studio. To my left, got my co-host. Oh, wait. No, he's not there.
I think I'm just a guest.
My co-host, Ryan Valentine's, not here today. He won't be able to make it. To my right, I got my... There's no one there either. Jonte Ferguson, he's running a little late. He's going to be coming in soon. We got Justin Wilson behind the board there. And our guest for today is the very funny, the very hilarious, the very good-looking Justin King, everybody.
Oh, you're too kind, buddy. You're just too kind. I appreciate it, though. How are you doing?
I'm excellent, buddy. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm here. Chilling. Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
The one thing I can hear is the radio pipes on you, dude. I feel like you've been doing this for years. This is crazy to me.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I was, just born this way.
Oh, there you go. A little Gaga reference in there. That's excellent. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. Jonte's on the way. He's going to be coming in. Before we start the show, I just wanted to kind of go around and I wanted to kind of drop a few plugs. This Saturday, October 22nd, there's a little event going down here called All Day You Drunks 2. There's going to be a live broadcast the entire day with a bunch of, really it's going to be led by the Good Morning You Drunks crew, and a bunch of other broadcasters going to be coming in and broadcasting over the course of the day. I'm actually going to be running a comedy show at 9 p.m. So the broadcast starts at 9 in the morning and it ends at 4 in the morning the following day, so Sunday at 4 in the morning. But if you guys can, tune in for everything and tune in for the comedy show. I'm going to have a bunch of funny guys. And speaking of funny guys, my good friend and co-host, Jonte Ferguson, just stepped in. What's going on, Jonte? How you feeling, buddy?
I'm feeling great. How y'all doing out there tonight?
I was actually just mentioning that. It's really funny. It's weird just doing comedy and going in to, like, something, right? Like, I feel like the main thing you have is to say, to greet the audience, but I don't know. I guess no one can see us. People can see us, but they can't hear us, or they can't respond.
They can hear us, right?
They can hear us.
Yeah,
They can hear us. I think we're live, are we? Excellent. Jonte, how you feeling, buddy?
Feeling great, man. Why does people calling me? People are calling me. I don't know why. I already told them I was at work and I lied. It's crazy out here.
That's excellent, buddy. Well, we got Justin King in the building.
Yo.
Justin, fellow comedian, funny guy. All right? You can see him at the Funny Bone. He's worked out there for a bit.
I feel like I'm still new in it, though. Like, I've only been doing it, like, a little more than 2 years.
About 2.5 years?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, about that.
It's the same with me. Like, it's, They always say like they always compare the number of years we've been doing comedy with like how old like a baby is.
Yeah.
Right. So by 2 years old, you know, you have your terrible twos going on. That's when people start kind of going off and stuff. I've noticed for me, I'm about 2.5 years in, and I really can't. I don't know. I'm really erratic with it. Some weeks I feel like, man, I could really do this, and then other weeks I'm like, I'm the worst comic ever.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I feel the same way. Yeah. Some days it's great, and some days it's not. But you know, terrible twos. Like you grow out of it, right?
Yeah.
So
it's just a phase. It kind of.
I don't know what they call the threes, but we'll get there and see how that goes.
I have no idea what they're calling it, but I'm going through it, man.
The lit three. Oh, you're number 3, right?
Terrible threes, man. Well, my problem is it's getting back out there.
Yeah.
Like after doing these open mics for like 3 years straight, just here, there. After a while, you like, it's like playing a sport.
Yeah.
You keep going to the same court. You're like, all right, I want to see a different court because I'm getting bored going through the motions.
Yeah.
I need challenges.
I don't know how guys do it who are 20 plus years in. So just go like 20 years in, you're like, oh, you know, let me go do a mic. I mean, what really drives you to that? It's crazy.
You know.
Well, I think a lot of the people that have been doing it for that long, they either have a wife or kids or some shit where they need to get out of the house. So they're like, let me go do this because I don't want to be stuck here.
It's like your escape.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, it's your escape. Which, I mean, right now for me, only 2 years in, and I don't have a wife and I don't have no kids. Like, it's still an escape from the rest of my shitty-ass life.
Yeah.
But I can only imagine how worse it would be if I was pushing 50 and, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's real talk, man. That's real talk.
Honestly, I think it's because I only traveled, like, really went, like, far doing comedy probably, like, twice. And that's so fun. Like, to actually meet new people and
it's
seeing
the best.
if they can really make them laugh. Like, it's just not a hometown thing. Like, you can go to a place where you're a complete stranger and nobody. And you still come out, you know, with people laughing. That's like a real measure of how big your comedy dick is, just to see.
Where's the farthest y'all have traveled to?
I've traveled as far as DC. You know, I've gone to DC. I've gone San
You've been all over, right? Like, I feel like before I really met you in person, like I would see you post stuff on Facebook, like about to hit this open mic in California or something like that, right?
Man.
I had a really good opportunity for a little while because I traveled for work.
It was your job, right?
It was my job.
Dope,
yeah,
man. Yeah,
so the cool thing with that was I would go to work and then get off work and I just get ready for a mic and then go around and do that. It really offered some good opportunities to like network and stuff with people.
Yeah,
shout out to Rudy and his grown ass man job.
Yep, yeah. Rudy's doing it big. He's
punk
got
ass still.
Yeah, well, listen.
Putting baskets in the grocery carts.
I'm not even gonna lie to you guys though. I want to kind of just quit that job and have a regular kind of, a little kind of chill, a more chill job that can offer me like.
Well, if you ever want to wait tables, just hit me up. I don't suggest.
He don't get it. Let me tell you, it's a whole lifestyle change. Like you like eating combos when you go out to eat.
Yeah, I do, but I mean, I can do without it though. That's the thing.
Look, let me tell you something. This is how it is. Like I hate they made a meme for it, but this is real life. When you first get paid, shit, I'll go to Red Lobsters or anything. Then if I got a coupon, I'll probably get a combo at a fast food place. But when it get down to the nitty gritty, if it ain't a value menu or that 4 for $4,
yeah, man,
that's how I survive. Like, god damn.
Absolutely. A lot of people don't know it. If you salad bars too, because like salad bar, like Farm Fresh or some shit, it's like $3-4. You can get you a big ass meal.
But I'll say this though, I'll honestly say, and I mean, I get it. I'm kind of lucky. I kind of lucked out with it. I started comedy a little later, in my mid-20s. So like I went to college, did the whole college thing. Went ahead and got an actual 9-to-5 job, which it's okay. Yeah, sell out and everything. But it's like I got that job and everything, and then I realized the day I got the job, I was like, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. Ooh. Like it was kind of a sucky thing where like your whole life you've worked for something, and then you get to it and you're like, this isn't what I want. I want to be a rapper this whole time. Like I didn't, or like I want to be an entertainer.
Don't give up on that. Like you could still be a rapper. There's plenty of time.
I think it's possible.
You can still be a rapper.
But I kind of feel like it's very, it's a kind of complex I get. So now I'm trying to kind of remedy that, where like I want to do stuff that I missed out on. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I want to actually, and really the job I have, I don't like it. Like I want to actually grind the way most open micers do, where it's like you have this dumb job. A lot of guys start comedy earlier in their lives when they're like 18 or something. And then they're like, maybe I went to college for a year or two, whatever, but it's not really what I want to do. So, like, I'm going to have this little job over here. that kind of gives me some free time every now and then. And I could just really spend all my time trying to write and trying to get better with comedy and stuff, you know?
Sometimes I think, like, I wish I had, because I didn't start doing stand-up till I was, like, 26.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. Like, because, we've both been at it about a little bit, about the same time.
About the same time.
But, like, I think, like, man, sometimes I'm like, I wish I had started when I was 18. But thinking back to, like, where I was when I was 18, like, I probably would have, like, I'd have done bad, and then, like, that'd have been it for me. Like, I'd have just been like, fuck this, I'm over it, I'm out. Like, like, I'm not going to fail at this any. But now it's like that I'm older, like, I feel like you get used to failure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so it doesn't really phase you as much as, like, you know, because you have that whole, like, high school mindset of being, like, 18, 19 years old, and your kids, like, you got to be the shit no matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
And half the time, you know, like, majority of the time, whatever you do, you're going to spend a lot of time sucking at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
you kind of go through that thing where, and we're actually talking about this a little earlier, but you kind of do that thing when you're a kid. It's like you can tell yourself, I'm going to be an astronaut, and it's fine. Like, you know, when you're like 5 or something, you're like, I have the world by the balls. I can do anything I want to do. And then you grow up, and then you do something stupid one day, and you're like, I can't. I don't think I could do that. You know what I mean? But, like, you know what I mean? Like, you light your balls on fire. And you're like, I don't think an astronaut at 5 years old is lighting their balls on fire. And so you just kind of go, I can't do that. And then you eliminate things. And then over the course of your life, by the time you're like 20, you're like, oh, you know, I'm just going to be it's going to be a server. And that's it.
But at the same time,
no, go for it.
At the same time, like, I started at 25, and I feel like it's better to start later because you're more mature and you can actually have more shit to talk about.
You have more life experience.
Yeah, because at 18, all right, I went to high school. That's about it. Yeah. Now at 25, like, the fact that you graduated from college, right?
Yeah,
I did too. With that being said,
VSU.
Yep. HBCU. No swim team. But the thing is, you got to remember, you got to use that to your advantage. Yeah. Like, you went to college. I know you got stories from college. And
I do.
And it's the thing is, you got to actually sit down and have, like, a free day where you can actually reminisce all those funny things that actually happened in college. So,
and the stuff you learn from it, because that could actually lead to some stuff that people can relate to.
Exactly, because a lot of people didn't go to college, but a lot of people did go to college, and that's a whole big ass lane that you can go to.
See, both of y'all got college degrees. I'm actually still in college. I've dropped out of college 3 different times.
Smart.
Yeah. It's worked out well.
Like, shit. Like, college is. People forget college is a business.
Absolutely.
If you guys have funny kind of like weird kind of awkward stories from college that you wouldn't mind sharing?
I mean, I have a couple. Just like my experiences from, like, living in Hampton Roads and going to community college and, you know, Tidewater Community College specifically.
Yeah. TCC Storm.
You know it. Yeah, they are so geared towards, like, they say from here, go anywhere. But when you go in there and you talk to the student advisors, they try to push, like, you know, you should become a nurse. You should get into our radiology program. You should
that's their bread and butter.
You should become a sonographer. Yeah, because that's where all their money comes from. And so if you want to do anything else besides work at a hospital, they don't really, like, they don't have much to offer. But, I mean, it's better than, you know, like, I already dropped out of ODU and I don't have the money to go back to there. So,
yeah, I feel you. Yeah, absolutely. And Justin actually has a funny joke about how it's TCC from here.
Work for Centera.
Boom.
That's hilarious, man. So I kind of had an interesting college experience where, like, I went to college or whatever, and I went to school, high school, whatever, did my whole thing. And then I applied to UVA and Virginia Tech. And I didn't get into tech, but I got into UVA, which was a weird thing. So, like, I was one of 85 kids who got into UVA. For whatever reason, my grades weren't good. I just kind of got in. And then 3 years later, I had a 1.9 GPA, and I got kicked out. So it's really kind of an odd thing. I just kind of thought college was this fun. Like, it was the first time I was out of the house, and I was kind of thinking, like, I can do anything now that I'm out. And I just did the dumbest things, you know what I mean? I just got drunk.
But you're not in the minority, or you know, like, the majority of people, once they get one, like, especially if you go straight from high school to college like that, like, a lot of people do dumb shit. That's that's what you spend, like, 18 to 25. That's what you spend most of your time doing, is dumb shit.
Yes.
The fact that all 3 of us are sitting right here now, and, you know, we're all closer to 30, and none of us either have a wife, an ex-wife, or a baby mama is, like, crazy. Like, what are the odds of that?
We're unicorns.
Yeah, seriously, we're fucking unicorns.
Yes.
So, Jonathan, what'd you do when you were in college? Like, were you Did you kind of were you in the party scene a lot? I've strep throat, so I'm coughing a lot.
Understandable.
Yeah.
My freshman, I partied out, man. Like,
Yeah.
the thing about Virginia State, what I love about it, the ratio was like 1 to 26. It was
Okay.
like for every dude, there was 26 girls.
Are you serious? There's no way.
No, I'm dead. I'm
Really?
so serious.
I'm about to transfer there.
You need like I'll say this: if you go to Virginia State and you're a guy and you get out of that school, you'll be so calm being around a whole bunch of girls.
Yeah.
Like when I'm out of school and my friends that didn't go to school, they be like, "Man, Johnson, you see all these junks out here, man?" I be like, "Yeah." I did that at school all the time. But the funniest story I got, we was at my friend's house, right? We were all my friends, we all hanging out, right, guys? And my friend, so like, yo, I'm about to use the bathroom. So he comes out, he picks his head out the bathroom, say, yo, y'all got no toilet paper. So we gave him a plastic bag with a T-shirt inside of it, right? And said, do what you got to do. So we still playing the game. 5 minutes later, the guy comes out with that T-shirt on and the plastic bag gone. So we didn't pay attention at first. We was like, yo, what's up? He was like, what you talking about? I'm like, yo, where's the shirt? He was like, I'm wearing it. And he was like, so we was like, what you wipe your ass with? He was like, the plastic bag. And I was like, why you use a shirt? He was like, why would I mess up a perfectly good shirt? And after that, man, I love college, yo. People have no parents to, there's no thinking skills. You just do yourself.
Rudy, your degree's in engineering?
It's in engineering.
And what is yours?
Rocket science.
Nice. All right,
that
cool.
Geniuses.
Yes.
I have an interesting. So I went into college. I was seeking an architecture degree, and I was like, this is gonna be fun. The way I came up with that degree, I guess what I wanted to do is, I went to I was in high school, whatever. My senior year, I was like, what is it that I really want to do, and and so like I just opened up like a book full of professions. And architecture was the number one thing. And I was like, I'm just going to be an architect, whatever. Boom, problem solved. And that was it. And I went to college, and I enrolled in the architecture program, which was a pretty tough program to get into. And the first day of class, I go to class, and the dude goes up, and he talks whatever. He says, and then I'm sitting there going, I don't want to be an architect. Like, it was the first day. Like, you work really hard to get to a certain point, and you're like, there's no way I want to do this. Like, I just knew I didn't want to be an architect. But still then I figured, let me just try to force it and try to figure out what it is. So I tried to do it, and
Side note, my friend George Costanza always wanted to be an architect, just to let you know, but go ahead, continue.
I think I met him. I met George Costanza before. Good dude.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, dude. So like eventually I tried to figure it out and I tried to do it, but it just didn't work out. I hated it. I just didn't like it. And so I figured, I'm in this program. What's something that's similar? And then I went out and I transferred to ODU with a civil engineering program, which is a little similar, but also really different. I did that, and then for the 2 years I was there, I was like, this is perfect. Like I figured out what it is I want to do, and then I get my degree and I'm like, this isn't what I wanted. This is actually not fun at all.
Not at all what you want.
It's like I never knew. It's like they always tell you like, what do you want to be when you grow up? You know what I mean? I always thought. I never knew what I wanted to be when I grew up until I grew up. You know what I mean?
So I'm jealous of that because I still don't know what I want to be, and I'm already grown. I've been grown up for a while, and I still don't know what I want to be, and it's frustrating as hell. But
I don't think I do either. But it's like you kind of see something that you like. Like I think on a visceral level, when you're growing up, you kind of don't know. You don't know who you are, first of all, and so you don't really know what you like then.
No.
So for me, it was just like, oh, what is it that my family thinks is important? Education. So then you just do that then, and then you're like, no, I don't like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So for me, with the comedy thing, I just spent a lot of time watching it on TV and and kind of researching it and stuff like that. And I was like, let me just try it out.
When did you first get into stand-up?
I first started doing it. It was 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Well, I mean, not necessarily the first time.
Just get into
when
it.
you started listening to like stand-up and like how did you what your first stand-up show?
Yeah.
What was your first stand-up show?
The first stand-up show that I went to or that I watched?
That you went to. Like how old were you? Who was it? Like
I never went to one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We moved here from Africa when I was 9 years old, and the next day, I turned Comic View on and I was laughing like an idiot. I just thought it was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
Like this is back when Earthquake used to, not Earthquake, Bruce used to host it.
Yeah.
And it was like, I wasn't really open to that ever. So I just saw a bunch of people just going off on stage. It was the funniest thing ever to me. And that was really kind of my first foray into comedy.
Yeah.
It was kind of that, the Comic View thing where it was very
definitely.
animated and very, that.
Yeah.
And then eventually I kind of got into Chris Rock after that. And then from
Absolutely.
Chris Rock, when the original Kings of Comedy, when that came out, that
Yeah.
changed my life.
Yeah.
Like it was very, I still think about when Steve Harvey hosted it. Obviously, he was on there and he was messing around with the crowd. And there was one dude. He was like, "Hey, what do you do?" And the dude was like, "Computer school." And he was like, "There's nothing about you that says computer or school." You know what I mean? But yeah, that special changed my life. Like D.L. Hughley, Bernie Mac,
Who you
Cedric
think
the
killed
Entertainer.
R.I.P.
I think the best set was probably Cedric's set, to be honest with you. And then right after Cedric, Bernie Mac set.
Yeah.
And D.L. Hughley was one of those guys that I kind of feel like I see myself a lot in him, in that, not as far as his, how funny he is, because he's brilliant, but I kind of feel like he's one of those guys that's he's one of those guys that's mastered the actual art of stand-up comedy. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Where like you see him earlier on, and he was just one of those guys who just went up and told a bunch of jokes. Like if you see him now, it's like it's completely effortless.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
The dude's really got it down. But it's like I saw that earlier, and that was kind of my first foray. And then, but that was back when I just enjoyed comedy.
Yeah,
That's all it was to me. Eventually, I got older, and there's three things that completely that made me want to do it. One was Conan O'Brien's show, his late night show, back in like the early 2000s.
Yeah, me too.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It was just silly for no reason.
Yeah.
And like I kind of could relate in that because I just love silly stuff. And then Tough Crowd with Colin Quinn, where it was really just insult comedy, and that's all that was. And there was a part of me that loved that. And the thing that kind of threw it over the edge was Dave Chappelle's show.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and his stand-up that went along with it. Because that was, I think I saw one episode. I saw his stand-up, the one he did in 2005, and like I was watching it when I fell asleep one day, and I remember literally like laughing in my sleep. It was so funny. You know what I mean? I woke up the next day, I watched it, kind of poured some cereal, watched the whole thing, and it was the best. Like it wasn't the best really when you put things up even with his own work, but it stood alone so well that I was like, I watched that and I was like, I have to do comedy now. Like I want to eventually work really hard and put something together that's half as good as this. Like, that's how, and those three things, that happened when I was 18, and I was like, I'm gonna do comedy. And then for 8 years, I wrote a bunch of jokes, and I just told my friends like, look, I'm gonna do comedy one day, and I just never.
They're
did.
the worst people to tell.
They really are.
Don't
they'll be like,
the people that are like know you before. I can tell you from personal experience, like the people that know you before you do it, are gonna totally be like, yeah, you shouldn't go do that. And a lot of times they're gonna be right, depending on the person, but they're not the ones to seek their approval.
And there are the same ones too that go, oh, you know what I mean? When's your next show?
Yeah,
I'll definitely check you out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And then you're like, all right, well, my next show is on this day.
Right.
And then they're like, all right, well, when's the show after that?
Just because I'm curious, Jonte, like when was your first, like how'd you get, like what made you come around to like stand up or even get into it? Because there's so many people out there that like never been to a stand up show, never listened to a stand up album, never even watched a stand up special, anything like that. And it's crazy. It blows my mind. But I've just always been into it. But like when did, like, do you remember?
Wait, Miss said like, yo, I'm about to do this?
Yeah.
Or not even like, or just like when you started listening to stand up, when you were like, yeah, this shit's dope. Just in general, like whatever age you were, like first comic you remember seeing.
Ooh.
Did you ever go out to a show?
No, I never went to a show.
Because stand-up shows are expensive, man. That's what people, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Unless it's like a comedy club, like usually the ones you want to see are like in arenas somewhere. You know
and a
what
lot
I
of them are 21 and up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that
also,
too, yeah.
We know, like, I ain't gonna lie. When I was young, I wasn't thinking of stand-up, but it was so much stuff that was influenced in my life that led up to doing stand-up. From younger, watching all that, Kenan and Kel, because like if you watch that stuff, it's like simple comedy. If you, it's basic, like
it's all improv, really.
Exactly, and it's always like Kenan and Kel was like
it was so good. I was raised on all that. Yeah.
Kenan and Kel was mocked by what's that other show? Drake and Josh.
Yeah.
And it's like it's crazy how they was doing the same thing, but it was the same setup.
It's
and
like a
everything.
skinny dude, a fat
that
dude.
Guy,
Yeah.
One stupid, one serious, and it always work, and it works for everything. You watch any duo, TV or movie or anything like that. basic setup.
It's all the
you
same formula.
So you start watching that for a little bit. You're like, okay, and then you got the all that. That's like the kid version. That's like the junior varsity of Saturday Night Live.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Then
that's what that was.
You add that with that came on at SNCC. So Saturday Night,
the orange couch.
Exactly. Yeah. After that, what came on? Mad TV.
Yeah,
so
man.
you're getting even more, and then. Unfortunately, we didn't have Google and all that good stuff, so I couldn't look up Aries Spears and know he was a comedian. All I know he was this funny dude on this show.
On Matt, right? Yeah, definitely.
So and that's when BET Uncut not BET Uncut. Oh, man, when BET what's that shit called?
Comic View. No.
Comic View. Yeah, Comic View came out. I watch every now and then, but
Comic View changed my life, dude.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
absolutely.
That show was hysterical.
It was.
Yeah.
But after that, I was like, you know what? Because a lot of people told me I was funny. I was like, let me just try it and see what happens. And it's kind of fun. It really to actually sit there and come up with some, like, there's no music.
Yeah.
It's just you and a mic.
Yeah.
And there's no, all right, hold on. Well, at least it's the beat good or something like that. It's they got to hear everything you say. That's so scary.
Something that's very interesting is both of you are very, you guys write a lot, but you also post it all up on social media often. Like Jonte. Like I mentioned it a bunch of times. Shout out to your Twitter, 757 Fresh Prince, everything.
I appreciate
you literally like I just go on Twitter at any point and I see like 9 tweets of yours. You know what I mean? Like you see one 5 minutes ago, 4 minutes ago, 3 minutes. You know, it's crazy. Like you know what I mean? You have a bunch of thoughts that you let out. And Justin, you kind of do the same thing on Facebook. You
Absolutely.
put stuff out and it's like they're all funny. Like it's all very fun. And I know there's a bunch of other people who just write a lot, but they just kind of keep it to themselves and stuff. So I mean, honestly, for you, Justin, what was kind of the thing that made you think like, oh, let me kind of step out and do some comedy?
Like, all right, like probably a couple years ago, like I always messed around with like either some type of writing, like whether it was like short stories or poetry or shit like that, like when I was younger. And then, as Facebook started to get more popular, like I just started like, well, let me put stupid shit up here and see what happens. And I think one day, probably like 3 or 4 years ago, I had somebody, tell me like, hey, some of the stuff you post is like pretty funny and I like it better than some of the actual comedians I'm with or friends with. So I was like, shit, well, I guess, I mean, the worst thing I'm gonna do is fail. So let me go try this. And
exactly.
And then like, I found like I started looking in the area. I had no idea this area even had a comedy scene.
Me
like
neither, dude.
That it does until I got into it. And like I took, I know it sounds weird, but I took a class. That was how I got into it. I didn't know how else.
Yeah.
And then like after I did that, I was like, wow, there's like a couple open mics around here. I had no idea there was more than one comedy club or more than one place to go see stand up other than like if a big name came here, they'd be at like Chrysler Hall or, like the Scope or something like that. But I didn't know there was amateur nights like there is with music, you know what I mean? And like,
and I didn't know about the music ones either. You know what I mean? Until I started doing comedy, then you're like, oh, okay. On Mondays they do music.
I feel like I knew about the music ones just from like going out drinking in the area. Because odds are, if you go out drinking somewhere, whether town center, down the ocean front, whatever, your odds of seeing music are way higher than walking in on a stand-up show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Especially on the weekends.
Especially on the weekends, yeah. But it's because most people don't have the like. You ever notice a lot of majority of people at comedy shows are older.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I just above the age of 25.
Yeah,
like they're
absolutely.
like a lot of times it's couples, things
Not
like
our
married.
peers.
It's always couple. Yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah.
And I think it's because like when you're younger, like people under the age of 25, like it's really hard to like whether you're aware of it or not, a lot of people are so like self-centered and like all about themselves that it's hard to give your undivided attention to somebody else and everything they're saying for 20, 30, even 10 minutes.
And to pay for it.
Yeah, and to pay for it. So it's like when you're younger, whether you're aware of it or not, like you're just self-centered and egotistical, and it's hard to give your attention to somebody that's on a stage who's self-centered and egotistical.
That's a great point.
You know what I mean? Like, and that was, I don't know, that's just how I've always.
It's crazy to me. I mean, I'm at comedy shows all the time now, and it's like, you just. Like when you boil it down, you're in the background watching, and there's just a guy up there talking about himself and things that relate to him for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And everyone has to sit there quietly and watch him do it.
Yeah.
It really is kind of an insane thing when you think about it.
Absolutely. Like y'all, I was asking y'all, but like my first comedy show was when I was like 13, 14 years old. My dad took me to see Janine Garofalo at Chrysler Hall. Yeah. And he wasn't a known name yet, but Zach Galifianakis opened for her.
Oh my goodness. Well, what year was this?
All right, so I was 12, 13 years old, so like
Do the math, Rudy.
Yeah,
Show a degree.
Yeah, I'm the one still at
2000,
TCC.
2001.
I'll say like 99, 2000. So
Okay,
I was like eighth grade, something like
Well,
that.
he just bailed out. 99,
I got you. Don't worry. I'm at TCC. I got you.
TCC Storm.
All day.
But yeah, like, and I remember just kind of being blown away. Like, I'd been to music shows and like I was already into music and, you know, listening to like, you know, 90s rap and grunge and all that, like by that time.
Oh,
but I had never been to a stand-up show, and I just like, my dad just kind of dragged me along one night, and I just remember being blown away by like what one person with a mic and just what they were saying could do. Because I'd never seen that before. Like I'd seen bands and like, you know, gotten that whole experience and been to concerts and like, that's cool. But then I saw stand-up, and I mean, I know I'm, you know, not everybody feels this way, but like I like stand-up shows more than like music shows.
Oh, absolutely.
I know
Me
it's
too.
weird, but
Yeah, me too.
yeah.
Jonte probably likes twerk contests better than that. I don't mean to. That was really judgmental of me, wasn't it?
I mean, who don't like twerk contests?
I think
That'd
we all
be weird
do.
if I didn't. Like,
yeah. No, but yeah, I mean, it's the same kind of thing. I typically enjoy that more than. I mean, I like music a lot too, but I enjoy kind of that.
You used to
more.
play in a band, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I was in a
What
band.
instrument did you play?
I did not play an instrument.
You sung?
But yeah, I sung. You could say I sung. But
Where can I download this at?
well, we had a pure volume. I don't know if you can find it.
It was metal, right?
It was a metal. I was a
Malumba metal?
vocalist. I was a I was
Malumba
a
metal?
Malumba metal. That was the genre. I was a vocalist for that band. I didn't sing. I did a little bit of screaming. That's kind of all it was. Okay, but
Was it aggressive screaming or passive screaming?
it was not passive at all. Like it was very guttural and very, you know what I mean. But it was a kind of band where like there was screaming and singing. So like you have some, you know.
Would you
back
wake
in,
up?
like,
I've always wanted. Would you wake up in the morning and just couldn't talk? Like,
I kind of had that. Here's the thing: we didn't perform a lot. Like we perform maybe twice a month.
okay.
And I was really just the guy who I stepped in for. So like, what happened is I went to college and I was really into this little genre called metalcore.
Yeah.
And emo core and
I
stuff
know
like
what you're
that.
talking- Yeah, I know what you're talking
So
about.
like think Hawthorne Heights or like.
I feel like
Under
I know
Oath,
what you're
stuff
talking.
like
Jonte doesn't, but I know what you're
that.
talking
Jonte,
about.
yeah.
I have no idea.
Silver.
What? Who high?
You've
What?
never listened to Silverstein ever in your life, Jonte?
Just
No.
just Malumba metal. That's all you need. Just Malumba metal.
All right, Malumba metal.
But I was really into that. That was really it. And like, I mean, music to me, I love. I mean, yeah, I love all of it. But at that time, I was really obsessed with that. And so I made friends with a bunch of people who were in bands and stuff, and who were kind of ingrained in the scene. I was friends with them, and then over time, there was one guy that I was friends with who was in a band, who was a lead vocalist for it, who just stopped doing it.
Stop.
And so since I was around, they were like, "Oh, Rudy, can you do it?" You know, because I'd always, you know, like I throw subtle hints, like I want to scream in your band, and like I just, you know, and then over time they're like, "Rudy, just do it." And so I did it, and I did it for like maybe a few months.
Yeah.
And that was it. But it was fun.
I played like I've always played music, but I played in a band for a little bit, but it wasn't like it was just kind of like house parties. Like
Okay.
that was what we play, and I wasn't like that talented of a musician, and I wasn't that confident of a musician.
What
so it was like,
what instrument did you play?
I played bass in the band that I was in, but then like also, you know, like if there was an acoustic guitar or some shit, like if you give me anything with strings on, I'll make some sound come out of it.
Absolutely,
I don't know if
yeah.
it'll be good or not, but like
Yeah.
I, you know, like that kind of thing. But I like it was just never. It was all right, but I definitely like. From the little bit of stand-up I've done and the little bit of music I've done, I definitely like doing stand-up more.
No, absolutely.
Anybody play football, basketball?
I did. I played football 1 year.
What position you play?
I played lineman both sides.
So you did absolutely nothing.
I did absolutely
spectacular.
nothing. Here's the thing. I got to play against Marcus Vick.
Marcus Vick.
So yeah, so like you
Did
know,
he run you over?
I was just about to say, yeah.
He was everybody on my. I was a lineman, and everybody on my team was more diesel than me. Like that's kind of how it was. So like it's really funny. I always tell people like yeah, it was weird. I always tell people like you know, I tell them, you know, I played against Marcus Vick, and they go, oh, the guy who killed who murdered dogs. I go, no, the guy who almost murdered people.
Yes.
But yeah, he was a monster, man. I remember back in I only played 1 year, but I like the way we talk about him. Like we talked about him like a mythic, like a Greek god or whatever.
Yeah,
He was he was that awesome.
Yeah, he was a beast dude in high school. Yeah.
Was he kind of a dick?
I never met him. I
Okay.
never really met him.
All right,
like
yeah.
it was all just kind of like, oh man, we played him last week. The dude ran for like 900 yards. And
Yeah.
this and that. It was a fun little outing for all of us. But yeah, I mean, you know, I feel like you know, this comedy thing in general, you just kind of do it and then you hope for the best. I mean, that's definitely kind of my whole thing. It's never. I never in my head think like, oh, this is what I'm gonna do forever. It's like it's kind of like a one day at a time kind of thing.
Yeah. That's how it's got to be though.
Yeah.
Like I've never been good at planning anything.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Comedy's nice because it's just day to day.
Yeah. Definitely.
So what we got?
Looks like we got a phone call. Let's kind of answer this real quick. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, guess who it is?
Looks like we got Martin Phillips calling into the great show. Martin, thanks for calling in and listening in. The phone number is 757-848-9250. For anybody else who's on the line.
Who else is on the line?
Who else is who wants to call in?
What's
What's
up,
going on,
Martin?
What's going on with you, buddy? We got me, Jonte Ferguson, Martin Phillips. Sorry, not Martin Phillips.
That's
Justin
Martin.
King.
Oh man.
What's up, buddy?
Is it just Martin?
One second. Martin, what's going on, buddy? What do you got to add here, buddy?
Oh man, I'm a first time caller, a long time listener.
God damn.
Martin, I'll offer a little bit of info here. Martin Phillips is a stand-up comedian as well, and he's a good friend of mine. I'd say he's my best friend. I don't know. He lives
one
in
of my
DC now.
best friends. Like, you know.
Jeez Louise.
What do you got? What do you got, buddy?
Okay, I'll be honest. Like, I wasn't really listening to the show. That I was listening, and then I took a break, and then I came back. So what you've been talking about for the past 10 minutes or 20 minutes, I don't know.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's okay. I mean, you called in, and we want to kind of inject you into the conversation. So, whatever you got, speak on it, man.
Right. I heard what Justin was talking about, Justin was talking about playing guitar, and then you were like, I was a lineman, and I played against Marcus Sitt.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
It's really, my whole thing was, because I saw, when I was in high school, I saw the people who played football, and I was like, man, that's, I bet they're really cool because they play it. You know what I mean? They look like they're, they're super cool. So I did it for that reason, and I was just Rudy with a football jersey. That's all it was.
There was no way in hell I was making any sports team at school.
Really?
No.
It didn't really add any cachet to my reputation. It was just kind of like, oh, there's Rudy. He plays football now. You know what I mean?
I feel like it definitely helps. It gives you an edge up, though, right?
It gives you a little bit of an edge up, yeah.
I was on the football team.
What, say again, bud?
I was on the football team.
What position did you play?
Hopefully quarterback.
Manager.
Shut the fuck up.
That's true. I was. That's true. I was. I didn't wear a jersey.
Martin is again a funny comedian. He's actually trying out for. I don't know. Should I say this, Martin? Should I say it on the radio? Martin is. I'm gonna say it. Screw you. I'm gonna say. Martin is trying out for America's Got Talent in January.
Yeah, he's gonna make it.
And so I told him once he becomes a headliner, he has to let me open for him.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of how that whole thing works. Do you have anything else, Martin?
Rudy?
Yeah, do you have anything else for the show?
What?
Do you have anything else for the show?
What? Not really. I just thought I thought you'd like it, and I called in.
Absolutely. It's been the best call of the night.
We all love Martin.
How many other calls have there been?
A lot, Martin. A lot. Too many to count.
We all love Martin. Martin, thanks for calling in, buddy. Thanks for you said you were listening for at least 10 minutes. So I mean, you're a round of
thank you.
Deserve a round of applause.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening in. Thanks for calling in, buddy. And again, if you have anything else. The phone lines are
Look for Martin on America's Got Talent the next season.
Tell him
the phone number for the to join into the conversation, okay, is 757-848-9250. Martin, thanks for calling in, buddy. All right.
Rudy.
Yeah.
I do want to say one more thing.
Yeah. What's up?
Hey, on your podcast, you said on a rap album that we were gonna structure it like each song is a stage. You said we had a song called Swag Junior. That is not true. That's the latest shit I've ever heard. I do not approve of that.
Here's the
So
thing.
I want to make it clear that finally did not have
You want to clear your name. That's okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of let the public in, or our two callers, or our two listeners in on the whole thing. So Martin Phillips and I are going to, we're creating a rap album right now.
Yeah.
And Martin has written out all the lyrics, et cetera, et cetera. And like, so I do a podcast also, and I was kind of talking about it, and I said that the first of all, the name of the album is called The United States of Illmerica.
Nice.
What do you guys think? You guys
quality,
down?
Yeah, quality.
I would definitely.
Martin wrote it. Martin wrote it all.
Martin wrote
Martin's
it
your
all.
ghostwriter.
Yeah, he's my ghostwriter.
God damn, you're supposed to admit that. Man.
Martin, Martin did all the reference tracks.
The dopest rhymes. Like Rudy has pretty good rhymes.
But so like, since it's called The United States of Illmerica, every song title is going to be like a state name, but like with a cool thing to it. So Virginia. So
what are you going to have 50?
We're not gonna have 50.
Okay,
we're gonna have 13. The original
like the
colonies.
Confederacy. Yeah. There you go.
So like,
God damn it.
So like, we did one for Virginia. It's called Swagginia.
See, none of that is true. Like that.
Well, that's what it's true to me.
Approve of that idea. That's stupid. Like, no, I do not. I don't like that idea.
It's scrap.
Well, listen, Mark, it's true to me. You know what I mean? Like that's my truth. That's what I wanted to do. So, I don't know. First of all, you've come out with every. You did every song lyric. So I mean, I'm pretty sure I could just come up with the song titles. That's okay with me, right?
Right. Well, we'll deal with this later.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Martin, thanks for calling in, buddy. Again, appreciate it. Thanks for listening. Everything. Everybody else, just know, the phone lines are still open. 757-848-9250. We're sitting here with Justin King, hilarious comedian, and my co-host, Jonte Ferguson.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, all day.
All right, so we got what time is it over? At 11 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
We have 9 minutes. So look, Rudy, stop pussyfooting around. Let's ask Justin some real ass shit.
Let's talk some real.
And look, the lines are open. Question us, ask us some questions. We'll definitely look you up on Facebook and look at your titties.
Yes.
Especially
what they said.
We got Justin King in the fucking building. Bitches, show your titties. Rudy, ask him some questions. Let's go. Bang bang.
What's yeah? So I don't know. I'm trying. Do you have one, Justin or Jonathan? Do you have a real ass question?
What? As an open, fuck it, we're all open micers. Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
What pisses you off about being an open micer?
Probably the only thing, like, just when there's not a crowd. Because I mean, sometimes you can't really, if there's only 20 people there, you can't really gauge if something's good or not.
Can't.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's like if you go to an open mic and bomb, which I do all the time, just like take it with a grain of salt, because you know, like if it's only in front of 15, 20 people, like it might go way differently if it's in front of like a couple hundred.
See, this is my thing. Like, I've been doing only 3 years, and I'm humble with it. Like, I've done crowds of 2 people. I've done like a lot, like whatever. But I'm at the point where I hate when somebody, like, if I come to a show and there's only like 5 people and I don't want to perform, they be like, well, if you can't perform in front of 5 people, what mean you think you can perform in front of 100 people? And I would be like, motherfucker, I heard that so many times. Like, I already paid I don't say I paid my dues, but at some time, I'm like, come on, man.
You have on some of them.
Wait, on, like, just on that, like what you just said, like I've always kind of had a theory that like it's easier to, maybe not all the time, but it's like usually it's easier to get a larger crowd to laugh than it is to get a smaller crowd to laugh, because laughter is kind of contagious.
It is.
Yeah. So if it's a crowd of 200-300 people, I've noticed that, like, if you can get like it's easier to get that many people to laugh than it is to get 2 or 3 people to laugh.
And then on top of that, they're spread out, because it'd be like, ha.
Yeah. And there's so many people that like out there that like that aren't funny in their actual lives, and then like get on stage and can do can do decent.
Yeah. It's weird.
And like, I mean, that's how I like. Me personally, that's how I think of myself. Is like,
I think that's how I am too.
Yeah, like no, I don't know. You're pretty funny in general.
I mean,
No, you're like a lovable dude. Like everyone. You're. You got to think more of yourself.
I didn't mean to.
No, you're good. You're good. But you should think more highly of yourself. I think Martin would agree if he's still listening.
I feel you.
We'll call him after this.
Here's a funny thing. And it's really tough. I think like
still show us your titties. We still waiting for
your
titties.
757. 848-9250. Call and tell us about your titties. I don't know.
Yeah.
But check it out. So like for me, I think it's really tough too because again we're amateurs. So like in general, especially on a weekend, what would make like the general public want to come see guys who are trying to be good at comedy? You know what I mean? So like I feel like that's kind of the catch-22. Like we're gonna have to deal with this for years until we get to a point where we can actually like headline.
Yeah.
And even then you'll be like, I'm not on TV, I'm not on MTV, I don't have a show, I don't have this, I don't have that. Like I tried to put a show together. And like I had a room, I was kind of trying to work it or whatever. And I ran like 3 shows. The first show was awful. The second show was pretty good, had a decent turnout. The third show, 0 people showed up.
This is the thing.
0 people.
This is all it is right now. Is this right here, my phone?
Yeah.
If you can get my attention on my phone, I'll come to see you.
Yeah.
You gotta think about it. Like there's certain people that can do certain. How can I say this? If we're in the age now, we gotta get people attention. If you can be funny on social media, they'll expect you to be funny on stage. As us being comedians right now, it's like we got what they don't have, but they have what we don't got, and it's crazy. Like if
That's deep right there.
It is. It's baffled me because I'm like, what can I do? Like you said, to get people to come out.
There's definitely a lot of people out there like that are like, I guess you call it like online comics or something like that. That like,
and you know why those people exist? Because people want. Like they want content. Like again, you know, I mean, memes are flying everywhere.
What was
and stuff
that?
Like
what was that one dude like a year? Like he got that TV, the Fat Jew.
Oh, yeah, the Fat
like,
Jew. Yeah,
he got like that TV deal, but then
the
like
TV deal, everything.
All of his jokes were just memes.
It was all stolen from people.
Damn it!
But it's like he really got like the brunt of it. But the fact of the matter is, there's a lot of million people.
He's not
like
the only one out there. Yeah.
Like everyone's like that.
Yeah.
Like there's a bunch of joke aggregators. Who that's what they do. You know what I mean? That's where the traffic comes from. But again, that means that there's people out there who want that content. So like all the memes being made and everything like that. Like as a comic, a lot of people get mad at the Vine guys or the guys who are on YouTube and stuff. I think Country Wayne came down here a few months ago and he sold out the Funny Bone like it was nothing. And you have guys who have been and he's only been doing videos for what, last 4 or 5 years?
No.
Yeah. How long?
A year and a half.
A year and a half. He's been doing videos for a year and a half, and he sells out 2 shows on a Wednesday. You know what I mean? And it's like, and you got guys who have been working for 20 plus years, and their material is tight, and it's really funny, and they could destroy any room in the country. But I mean, they're not on Vine. You know what I mean? So they
with a couple 100,000 followers, so they're not selling.
It's a difference.
So they have like 20 people show up. So again, I mean, the need is. I mean, the market is there.
I think there's definitely been. I think there's a lot of times where like those people have sold out rooms and like gotten up on stage and had the people who opened for them just kill it compared to how they did, and they've gotten up and just bombed because they don't have the experience of like you can write something that's funny, or you can make a funny video, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to translate to when you're standing on stage in front of a crowd.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no cut on do it again.
No,
it's. But that's the thing though.
It's
you
all
gotta
one
realize,
take.
Yeah, but you gotta realize we're in the age where we got this technology we're accessible to. We just can't be comedians. Like you got to do something else. You got to have your foot in something else.
And that's and that's where the business is right now. Like I kind of feel like 10, 15 years ago, that wasn't the case. Like if you just went up and you just worked on your act for years, you could make it just being a comedian. Like nowadays, you have to be into everything, like the Instagram videos, the YouTube stuff, you know what I mean, the web, the webisodes and this and that, the memes.
I can't
even tell jokes.
I can't even use one more. I only use one social media, Facebook, and that's it. Like I have an Instagram and I have a Twitter, but I don't.
We don't really.
I don't use them. It's just
job,
it takes too
man.
much. Yeah,
full-time job.
It's tough to do, but I mean, it's definitely like once you find the niche and once you find kind of that area. I mean, dude, you're good. You could make millions.
But I will say this. I have people come to my actual shows based off the strength of my web presence. Like, they'll see a couple videos like, I gotta come see you. And it's crazy. And it's so, like, when you do stuff, like, when you actually put out, like when you go on stage and do a set, or if you do a skit, or you do something like that, that's like your, what's the word I'm looking for? That's on your repertoire. That's your catalog.
Yeah.
That's a part of you. Like, like if
you're building a brand.
That's what you're trying to do. So even though it ain't, I ain't gonna say it ain't shit, but it's something low right now. Eventually, I can look back and be like, look at this shit I was working on. Like, I could probably bring it back to life and actually use it. So, if anything, I'm telling y'all too, like this radio station, this is dope. Like, whatever you can get your foot in, put your dick in, or your finger in, whatever you can get in, do it, because everybody want to see you do something else. Like,
100%. And Jonte, you're one of those people who, I mean, you tirelessly do that, where you have like the stickers, you have all that stuff, you have the web shows that you kind of do, and all that other stuff. You write constantly. You put it on Twitter.
You got like merchandise.
I'm trying, man. See,
you know what I mean? He's like a rock star already.
Now, see, this is the thing. At the beginning of the show, Rudy, you was talking about how you want to live our lifestyle. Look, let me tell you something. If I had a big boy job, like a grown-up job, my life would be so much easier. You know how much I can buy the shirts to get them made.
But I mean, you'd be a lot busier too. Like I feel like you wouldn't have for me, I don't even. It's like I work some days till 7.
You work,
and then
a 9 to 7.
Yeah, well, like in 7:30 to 7 p.m. Like,
so you work like 12 hours a day.
Yeah, I mean,
and then still
some
find
days,
time.
I've had days where I work till midnight.
You would
Damn, man.
not.
Like it's
Damn.
So it's tough because you have to find the time to write.
Not
and you have to find time to do all that other stuff.
Work.
And I mean, it's tough to do, man. That's why I'm saying. Like, I really feel like.
But your job's salary, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you don't even get extra stuff.
So
for
when
it.
when you're salaried, that's when.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely can't complain about that.
They make you work ridiculous amounts of hours.
Yeah, I definitely can't complain about that. But I mean, again, if you don't like it, I mean, what are you gonna do? It's not something you enjoy. Okay, yeah, absolutely. So it just kind of is what it is, man. But we got really real this episode. I was gonna kind of dip into you guys's life post comedy, as far as the ladies, how your life has changed since then.
Oh, absolutely.
I know Jonte has
none.
like threesome stories and all kinds of crazy stuff like that, orgy stories and stuff. You know,
I'm still looking.
Jonte probably would.
I'm not the guy.
You got to have like one though. I'm sure you have like at least one.
No, the nice thing about doing stand-up shows compared to doing music shows is like where musicians get girls, stand-up comedians just leave stand-up shows with other comedians. That's it. They don't leave, or by themselves. They don't leave with girls. Yeah. That's how it is.
I don't know.
But this has been a lot of fun, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's been cool.
A fun little setup here, man. We just kind of
this is dope. I like this. This is what second show.
This is the second show. My whole thing with this is the number one thing for me, in general, after every comedy show in the back room or wherever else, I have the best conversations with other comics about anything, any and everything, comedy and life. Period.
Yeah.
Like I've been really enlightened in the last 2.5 years, just off the strength of that alone. So I figured, it would be a fun thing to bring it out to the public. So this is that's the spirit of the show.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
It's gonna keep growing from there. But let's go around the room. Jonte, you if someone wanted to come see you at a comedy show or wanted to follow you on social media, where would they need to go?
Follow me on Facebook, Jonte Ferguson. I know you can't spell my first name, so follow me on Instagram, 757 Fresh Prince, and people don't read. So follow me on Instagram, 757 Fresh Prince, and check out Crushes. Justin King gonna be on one soon, and Rudy.
Webisode. What you got, Justin?
Just find me right now either on Facebook, Justin King. There's a lot of Justin Kings out there though, but you'll find
picture. What kind of picture you got?
I'm just on stage. You'll find me. And then or on Instagram, Justin_A_King. You'll find it.
Swag.
Cool.
Bang bang.
I'm Rudy Mulumba. You can find me on Facebook, Rudy Mulumba, MULAMBA. I'm on Twitter, RD from VA, D as in dog. I'm on Instagram, RD from VA,
Damn.
D as in dog, no O and from.
Oh.
If you can, follow the show's Twitter. It's the great_pod, at the great_pod on Twitter, and the Great Show on Facebook. We have a podcast that we do on Sundays that we usually put up on Mondays, so you can do that too. If you guys can, also tune in on Saturday, the 22nd, to our all-day event, All Day You Drunks. There's a comedy show at 9.
Yeah.
Jonte's going to be on the show,
Nice.
and it's just going to be a fun all-day event, so if you guys can, do that. Apart from that, thanks for tuning in, everybody. It's been a fun show. Rudy, Jonte, and Justin, we're signing off. You guys have a good one. Peace.
You didn't show us your titties either.
Hey, Justin, I was just thinking that there's no better way to advertise that hashtag WrestlePals is moving to 10 p.m. every Monday on Radio Free Radio, RadioFradio.com, than to cut our own wrestling-style promo. Do it.
Monday nights at 10 p.m. Hashtag WrestlePals take the airwaves. And they're going to talk wrestling with you. If If you want to call in, you can call 757-848-5920. Can you feel that? Feel the WrestlePals power coursing through your graves! Ah!
I think he just had an aneurysm. That's hashtag WrestlePals every Monday, 10 p.m. Radio Free Radio, RadioFradio.com. Hey guys, Matt and Justin here. Do you like things that are funny? Do you like music? Do you like talk? Well, we've got it all on Good Morning You Drunks.
How do you feel about double middle fingers?
I don't like them, but I will accept them.
Oh, Monday nights, 8 p.m. Good Morning You Drunks, only on our station, Radio Free Radio, RadioFradio.com.
We promise we're not going to give you double middle fingers.
RadioFradio.com.
Hey, y'all, this is Ron and Dale Martin Jr., and I gotta tell you, man, this Radio Free Radio thing is quite awesome. And since I spent all my money on steering wheel covers and Marlboros, I need you guys to donate $1 over at Patreon. That site is patreon.com/Radio Free Radio. If you ain't heard about it, you need to get on over there and give your $1.
Dog is
on RadioFradio.com.
Every single punchline. That's the hardest fucking part about being in the studio.
I'm from the land of the dead, the land of your head, the land of these places where these niggas not beds. A land full of sharks and they still ain't been fed. If you looking for love, then it's suffer instead. My niggas cerebral, my killers are lethal. Stay in your lane full of minimum people. You come in my temple, go down like an eagle. You think we equal, I leave you in fever. I see you, I beat you. These niggas will teach you. Fuck with a shot, guarantee we gon' eat you. Come in these lakes, but we know how to treat you. These niggas delete you before I can reach you. You a little fish in a big pond. You disappear at the wave of a line. I produce hits like I'm Polo the Don. I'm in my Optimus Prime, Megatron. You come to my city and try to fuck with me. This shotty and send me blow out your whole kitty. We don't show you pity, we touch you like frisbees. Come out this city, get brain blast like Jimmy. Do you know where you are? A place so bizarre. A place you get killed cause the style of your palm. A place where the standards just ain't out the palm. You come and get ripped like I'm ripping my balls. I'm dropping the bombs, they call me Saddam. The gun in the trunk, blow you to Taiwan. I lay him down, go get a futon. When these rockets from China send you to Mulan. We shock, shoot a bait, get ate like a cake. But you in the dirt, that's through Norfolk State. We assassinate, we shoot till they break. We hit like tsunamis, volcanoes, earthquakes. Hey, know where you are? Do you know where you are? The city of sharks, the city of sharks. Hey, do you know where you are? Do you know where you are? The city of sharks, the city of sharks. Don't swim with the big fish. Don't swim with the big fish. No. Don't swim with the big fish. Don't swim with the big fish. No. I flex on my verses like I do Pilates. I swear that these Benjamins getting me bodies. Don't try it, I promise you'll be homicided. Don't try to run or the squad gon' say got him from towers. We'll snipe him and spark such excitement. Neighbors will scream from the windows, be quiet in silence. I see that my time is arriving. My red dot on high beam. One shot, I got him. Hyped up no riddling. I swear that many men wish it upon me, but I shot so many men. Feed them these bullets, so many hoes riddle them. Damn, picked up the pen again. I'm trying to be a gentleman. No need to murder these niggas like villagers. Village them, forgive me, father, for I must go sin again. Tutu is ripping them, killing him. Rosses and we to come finish them. This is delirious. Can it be serious? How can we murder the beaches and emperors? Passion and fire sometimes can be serious. Swim with the fishes, I swim with the sharks. Try to cross over and get on the part. Don't speak on my person, don't speak on my art. A small spark will lift you and tear you apart. And pause, be cautious because and we is a monster and revenant form. Back from the dead to experience elegance. Sky is the angel that keeps them aloft. I in the night like the moon. Avada Kedavra, your house will be doomed. Watch where you walking buffoon. Cause my squad is really some goons. Straight from the city of sharks and we feast on little fishes like you. Do you know where you are? Do you know where you are? The city of sharks, the city of sharks. Hey, hey. Do you know where you are? Do you know where you are? The city of sharks, the city of sharks. Don't swim with the big fish. Don't swim with the big fish. No. Don't swim with the big fish. Don't swim with the big fish. No. I'm used to be
being fed, your nigga look dead. You're not on my level, so fuck you instead. Had to raise the hand, curl, I'll be damned. King of the nest, ruler of the land. Bitches all around me, as real wanna be. Money for the bitches, got a lot of D. I don't play no games, you niggas all lames. Wrote a write of rickets for bums and the snitches. You niggas wanna ask, it's none of your business. Roll up the weed that's laced in the kitchen. That bitch on the side, I'ma call her a kitten. Now you wanna listen? Fuck you was thinking. If I don't live to see the next day, where on my kids' day, father never fade. Everyone know me, we live to exist, we're only to return and copy and paste.
Don't swim with the big fish. No. Don't swim with the big fish. Don't swim with the big fish. No, don't.
I was Norfolk raised and I was Norfolk born, so it's only right I make a Norfolk song. Don't worry what I got, just tell me what you need and ask, little bro, I can put you on. Yeah, that's on my mama. We turn up in parties, you better not try me. We shooting shit up, I ain't talking about parties, and you can get stretched, I ain't talking Pilates. Stay in the streets, you see me like a trolley. Be on the block, I got killers beside me. These labels be calling, don't want you to sign me. Niggas that's local, we doing them grimy. Pop up the trunk and I pull out the Tommy. My circle is closing, I'm shooting around me. Stunting on bitches that used to be clowning. Niggas want beef, so I looked and I looked till I found them. Got too many straps, like I know where to hide them. When Sky let it go, he gon' aim at your body. We smoking no gas until we get inspired to let out the verse that you all know was fire. Call me the pastor, I preach to the choir. No need for comparisons, but it's imperative that you are hearing this shit. Let me cut, now I'm handing the bandages.
Don't swim with the big fish. No. Don't swim with the big fish. Don't swim with the big fish. No, don't.
You know I fly when you know I pull when I hit that yacht when I look so cool when everybody I'm in like, yeah. When I pull up to the scene, you know that I'm clean when I hop out. You know that I'm clean when I hop out. Pull up to the scene. You know that I'm clean when I hop out. You know that I'm clean when I hop out. Know that I fly when I hop out. I hit that when I hop out. Pull up, then I hop out. Already know what time it is. Flexing hard is the motto. Been working hard just to choose, so every time that I step out, know I'm on my A. Girls all on me. That's just how it be. Yeah, 3 or 4 tryna roll out. Roll a dice, take a chance now. So fly like a jet plane. These days can't see me. Dreamed about it, that I owned it. When I pull up, you know this. You won't wanna miss this, but you rather witness, yeah. You know that I'm clean when I hop out. You know that I'm clean when I hop out. Pull up to the scene. You know that I'm clean when I hop out. You know that I'm clean when I hop out. Know that I fly when I hop out. I hit that when I hop out.
Right through my city like a touring star. They staring at me like a foreigner. It must be cause all of these foreign models call me young half an hour. I got bunnies and plethora. I'm Gucci, that be the designer. Shit bad like my spaceship recliner. We drinking all those get faded, talking Terminator. That's the shit we blazing. I'm flying like the Himalayas. Sit at the top of the mountain. My name echo when I step out the vape. All black like I'm Batman. Paparazzi tell them back me, but I bet you won't bet your girlfriend.
When I pull up to the scene, you know that I'm clean when I hop out. You know that I'm clean when I hop out. Pull up to the scene. You know that I'm clean when I hop out. You know that I'm clean when I hop out. Know that I fly when I hop out. I hit that when I hop out. You know I'm clean when I
show last night?
You ain't got to lie, Craig. You ain't got to lie.
Ain't nobody lying. I didn't go to the show last night.
Yes, you did.
Use a lie. Who am I? You ain't gotta lie to me. Hide from me. You ain't gotta wear no disguise for me. You ain't gotta play both sides for me. Who you trying to be? The man on the block, 50 bands on the watch. Me, your fans on your cock. Are you playing in the stop? Or just keep fibbing? Telling a story that's fiction, depicting the lifestyle you ain't never lived it. We are not trying to listen. Say that bullshit for the bitch. You snatching, you flexing, you wish. On Instagram, snapping them pictures. You sour, you salty, you bitter. You act like a bird on your Twitter. I know you didn't hurt, I'm that nigga. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie to me. You ain't gotta lie to me. No, you ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie to me. You ain't gotta lie to me. No, you ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie to me. You ain't gotta lie to me. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie to me.
You ain't got to lie.
Ain't nobody lying.
You ain't gotta lie to my ego, lie to my face. Telling your boyfriend you just need some space. Telling me that I just can't be replaced. With niggas like lions, they lying in wait. You picking these niggas like rock, paper, scissors. Stop lying, you stupid bitch, that's not your sister. Mixing our liquor, then you French kiss her. Digging your sister and switching position. You testing this nigga by how much you miss him. Soon as you finish, dick is a missile. Then it's dismissal. Take that bitch with you. Lie when you say that my man didn't hit you. The devil's a lie and the truth is not in you. Wonder how many men you really been through. I am just curious, it's not an issue. No, I am just curious, it's not an issue. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie to me. You ain't gotta lie to me. No, you ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie to me. You ain't gotta lie to me. No, you ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie to me. You ain't gotta lie to me. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie to me.
You ain't got to lie.
Ain't nobody lying.
Tell me how you maintain when the stress is trying to get you. Tell me how you maintain when nobody wanna listen. Tell me how you maintain when it's the word on your shoulders. Tell me how I'm supposed to live. The government.
I'm ready. I'm super. That's crazy. What's good, good people? You are listening to Seven Says on Radio Free Radio. We out here. If you want to join the conversation at any time, call us at 757-848-5920. It's 5920. 848-5920. Call me. Tonight we have our usual suspects. Wolfpack is in the building.
Hey y'all.
We got Taz.
How y'all doing?
We got Concept. We out here. You know what I'm saying? And it's my birthday.
Happy birthday. I can't scream right now and shit, but woo.
That's good enough for me. That's good
I
enough
was
for
trying.
Me. Oh well, let me get this out the way real quick. Tomorrow night of Autism, is a live entertainment event that promotes positivity in the community using art and networking as the foundation. They got free pizza, they got drink specials, y'all. You know how we like to get lit. DJ Smiles, Kwame, Ariel, The Concept, and Keys Music. They the featured artists. This is all going down tomorrow night. Show starts at 8. Get there early, because the pizza free, and you know how niggas are going to eat their pizza.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That pizza going to get gone. That pizza going to get gone. You got to get there early, or you going to be hungry as hell. You know what I'm saying? What that on the radio? That's a real cricket sound.
It's a real cricket.
It's a real cricket in this
In
bitch.
Antidote.
We got calls already. What's going on? Talk to me. I ain't even made no noise yet. Who the hell is that? We also know that we don't even do no talking when we hear the phone ring. We trying to figure out who the hell she talking to.
Right.
I see you on the boards. You see what's up? Side bitches, we don't get to that. And what side people, man and female. And
Clean up.
we gonna talk about the rules of sex.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't think we is when we is, huh? Yeah, Amber, who is that? Yeah, oh Lord, who is that? Who is this?
Who
there? Who there? Who in my house?
You sure got a purty mouth, boy.
Go ahead, man.
Yo, what's up? This is Terrell K. Mercer, man.
What's going on, man?
Nothing much. I'm out here enjoying this night air. Was checking out the show, and I figured I'd call and give you a happy birthday, bro.
I appreciate that, man. I really do. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I'm old. I'm up past my bedtime and everything.
Yeah, I'm starting. I'm getting there. That's what the birthday is all about. I'm trying to get there.
Word. Is that Taz?
Yeah.
Chaz is here.
Oh, what's
how
up,
you
Sister
doing?
Queen?
Chilling and shit.
I'm
Seven
doing,
got me
man.
outside
I'm
for
doing.
his birthday. He told me to behave, so I'm on
Is that-
behave.
What?
Yeah,
Why are
I'm
you gonna restrict her like that?
Because it's my show and I should be able to show my ass the most.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
It's your show and your birthday.
It's my birthday.
And it's his
I can cry if I want to.
Huh.
She need to be there for moral support. That's
I'm
it.
here for
Let's
this.
see. That's exactly what
Chilling.
I'm saying. You know she gonna turn up a little bit though.
That's what's up. But y'all do y'all thing, man. You know, like I said, enjoy your day, enjoy your night, enjoy your weekend. God bless y'all. Y'all keep having fun doing what you do.
Thank you. We appreciate it, man. You do the same.
Hi.
Good night.
That's Terrell from the Chocolate Milk and Waffle Show.
Yeah.
They on Thursday nights. What time?
8 to 10, I believe.
8 to 10. Yep. They got their 2-hour slot. I'm trying to get there. Trying to be like y'all.
Bossed up.
All of that and all of that.
Shout out to Mr. Mercer and George Mendez.
No doubt. So yeah, man. Let me get to these rules about sex, man. Cause,
Topics for the evening.
Because a lot of these young boys don't seem to know. Cause I don't know what it is, why they don't feel like they should put their mouth on certain parts or whatever. But the way I carry things, the phone ringing again. The way I carry things is I'm gonna put my mouth everywhere she likes it. You understand what I'm talking about?
Okay.
And that means toes, butt, the back of her knees, the nape of her neck, the inside of her elbow.
All right.
Wherever. You know what I'm saying? Wherever she into it at. Where you got any special places you into it?
Cousin. But I will say that is
You cutting up? That's my birthday. You better.
I mean, I'ma just say that if that's what you into, I appreciate you for it.
So hello?
I felt like that was classy.
my shit disconnected. Yes, it did. Where Justin ass at? Give me another mic. Goddamn lie. Hello? That ain't. Which one? No, it ain't. I don't hear nothing. Hello. I can't hear myself. Hello. Why I don't feel connected? Can you hear me?
No. Well.
Yeah. I can't hear me at all. Can I? Hello. I can't hear me on that joint either. Oh, we is having technical difficulty. Oh man, not tonight. Hello. Oh, we back. Okay. Yeah, we was having technical difficulties, but I don't know what the hell happened. It fucked up the church's money, but
phone call.
We got a phone call. Who is it?
G-Ma.
G-Ma.
Who
Hey.
Hello.
G-Ma.
G-Ma.
G-Ma Sweetie.
Nuh-uh. This ain't Grandma Sweetie.
This is Grandma Sweetie.
This is my real life. This is my real life biological spit me out mama, y'all. I ain't bullshit.
Hey, mama.
I love your show. Happy birthday, baby.
Thank you so much.
That's what's up.
Girl, you about to make me cry,
Mama
girl.
7 called in.
You about to make me cry, girl. Go ahead.
I am so proud of you.
Girl, go ahead. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I like your show.
Thank you so much, mama.
And leave that cricket alone. That's supposed to be good luck.
I don't know what the hell he doing in here.
And that's right. Let the cricket be out here.
You taught me if the bug come indoors, he fair to be killed. Unless
Yeah,
he was a ladybug.
That's why you had to call her out.
Yeah, but that's a cricket. That's a good luck thing.
Like that. If it wasn't a ladybug and it came in the house, you was like, kill that.
No. Ladybugs are allowed to be in the
if
house.
it ain't a ladybug, anything else in the house, you was like, kill it. Now you gonna get on the radio and act different. Now I'm supposed to leave the cricket alone. Hell no. You making too much damn noise. I'm trying to sleep.
That's a good luck cricket in the studio.
Well, we'll see. We'll see after we get these rating reports.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for calling in, baby. I love you.
I love you. You have a good day now.
All right, later.
All right, bye-bye.
Good, nasty. My mom about to hear me talk nasty as hell because I ain't finished talking about these rules of sex. You ain't tell me what you thought about that neither.
What?
She was just on some each his own shit.
If you like,
you know what I'm saying? What specific place do you like to get? Them saying.
I'm a neck person.
Okay, neck.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a legs person.
Legs.
You know. I'm a
How you feel about them toes? How you feel about that dookie shoe?
The toes is cool. The toes is
What about
cool.
dookie
You
shoe?
ain't got to be like getting too.
What about
into
Kevin
it.
Gates eating the booty? Like groceries.
Like I said, if that's what you do, I'm here for it.
What, you know what I'm saying? If that's what you do and you do it well, then do it.
It's nothing specific. It's
You know
just
what
to
I'm saying?
say. It's just to say.
And I just
I'm
wanna-
not against it.
Okay. I just want to let you niggas know that foreplay don't stop at licking on and kissing on your woman like right before sex.
Right.
That ain't it.
I would think not.
You got to do little shit during the day. So by the time y'all actually get the chance to hump, she already there. You see what I'm saying? Like
Built up the.
you know what I'm saying? The pre-gaming. You know what I'm saying? Pull that curtain back while she taking a shower.
Yeah.
And then just stand there and stare for a while. You know what I'm saying? And eventually she gonna turn around and be like, what? What is you looking at? And you be like, ain't nothing. And you bite that lip. Ain't shit. I'm just looking. I'm just looking at you, girl. She gonna be like, go ahead, huh? You said Shayla on the line. Lord, girl. Hey, Shayla. Hello. Hello. Bye, Shayla. Yeah, I don't hear nothing. All right, so I talk about little shit all throughout the day, like you sitting on the couch and she walk past you and you smack that ass. Right. You know what I'm saying? You might be watching TV, playing the game, whatever. When she walk past you, like all in front of the screen, instead of cussing her out, like, bitch, goddamn it, I can't see. You know what I'm saying? Just smack that ass when she walk past. She gonna appreciate that shit, man. I promise you. I promise you. Walk up behind her when she at the sink, whether she washing dishes or cleaning meat, whatever it is you doing at the sink, and just like grab her around the waist, whisper some
So
nasty ass shit in her
basically,
ear.
You saying you appreciate her doing the day-to-day things and making her feel, you know.
And
special.
why she doing the day-to-day things that make her feel like I'm an old house mom. You know what I'm saying? Say some nasty shit to let her know that this whole house mom shit is jive sexy to me. You know what I'm saying?
Put a good mind
She
game
bending
down
over
on
pulling shit out the washing machine and putting it in the dryer. She got to bend over to do that because it's lower. You know what I'm saying? While she doing it, walk up behind her, grab her waist, put the meat on her butt. Yo.
Hello.
What's happening, Jack?
Happy birthday!
Thank you. I appreciate
And you better come get these damn home chitlins, motherfucker, because I didn't cook them for nothing.
I'm definitely gonna come get. I'm definitely gonna come get them chitlins. I'm definitely am. Good.
Happy birthday to Seven. Happy birthday to you.
Girl, I hope you cook them chitlins better than you sing. I swear to God. I'm definitely gonna come get them chitlins. You got me discombobulated, confused, twisted, and sidetracked. I'm definitely gonna come get them. Is it already gonna be hot sauce on them things? Or I need to bring my bottle because I got hot sauce in my car. Swag.
That was Trika Seven. That wasn't me singing.
I'm on my. I'm saying, but is you gonna have hot sauce? Is you gonna have hot sauce on my shit?
What you talking?